Cue tracks.
And welcome to 540 Studio Debian Season 3. Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. Hope everyone is doing well. And we're back here on a Thursday, and we're going to have a lot of fun, talk about some topics and shit like that. And of course, I'm here today with Baron Orman Tag. And of course, also who's in time. Not often that happens. But
Hey, there's a
Mr. Kilted
there's a
himself, so that's
first time
surprising.
for everything. Okay.
That's right. That's
Oh,
It
right.
is always the first time for everything. That's completely right. And of course, we do have the man himself, Mr. who will never release his stuff on time, Cash
Not
Money.
always. Not always. Shut up.
The man, the myth, the chin.
Yeah. The
Dude, that would
greatest
be
thing
actually
ever.
perfect for an intro.
Wouldn't
The
be bad.
man, the myth, the chin. Cash
No,
Monet.
there is no time. As long as it doesn't take a few months, then I'll be fine.
Well, you usually work
Exactly.
a month.
But other than
Give me
that,
credit for fictions. Go
as
ahead.
we normally always do, we will start with Baron. How are you, man? What have you been up to, and how's it going?
Well, not too bad. Hanging out, chilling, a little achy, and still actually trying to recover from November. What was that? 5th there? I don't know. Everything got all twisted up there. But well, of course, the election night. Sure, we stopped at a certain time, but we're still behind the scenes, talking,
Yes.
talking. And I'm going, Mike, why did we stop? I
Yes.
mean, we could still be doing this.
No, we
But,
could have been, but it's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, man. Come on, Mike. Come on, dude.
And devastated that Kamala Harris lost. I mean, I was screaming, "Oh!"
So sad.
Yeah. Very. Was that convincing, by the way?
Yes. Sure.
Really convincing.
And I'm
You know,
wondering.
we had a
just
great
like I said
time.
there,
You and
I'm
Mark
wondering-
Hamill shared a moment, so that was very
We
nice.
did,
Barrett.
yeah. You know that
Yeah, still waiting
the
for him to reply to us.
Brokeback, in that Brokeback Mountain sort of way. Yeah, Brokeback Jedi.
And that
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish I could quit you. Yeah. And as you can see,
Yeah,
it's my little
exactly.
thing down there. Is this the end of the view? So.
Yeah. No, we had a great time, and it really messed up my sleep too because of my time schedule. So when the election was, it was when it ended, it was morning and everything for me. The food store were open, all this kind of stuff. So I need to try to get my sleep back on track because I've been sleeping most of the goddamn day.
The long suffering has been screwed up too on her sleeping schedule.
Yeah, but it was worth
But-
it. It was worth
Well-
it. It was a legendary day, legendary moment, and
Well, yeah, like I said, no matter what, on Tuesday, it was going to make history one way or another.
Yes.
One,
Yep.
we would have had an installed woman of color, not black, woman of color as a president.
right.
Or we'd have, for the second time ever, a man who was elected, had one term, was voted out of that term. Yeah, right, he was voted out, my ass. And then came back for a second term after that. So, and where's Joey, by the way? Joey, where are you, Joey? Oh, that's right. He and Phil McCracken are hanging together, having some ice cream. Watching
Exactly.
the Eagles. Yeah, Delaware.
I just find it very interesting because now YouTube seems to be working very well. Funny how things work after an election.
Yeah, no, I talked about that because, a lot of me and some other people did notice that YouTube started to have a lot of issues and problems, and a lot of people were complaining. I was one of the few people that also got the quote unquote glitch. Don't know why. I say. And right now, after the election day, YouTube started working a lot better again.
That's weird.
You say?
And people are like, there's
Fun-
no conspiracy there. I'm like,
No, it's no conspiracy.
Sure. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
It
is.
was not just YouTube, it was Facebook, other platforms that started, having issues, and some friends of mine were a little scared because they are, TikTokers, when it comes to political stuff and shit like that on TikTok. And people that was, for Donald Trump, some of them got removed on TikTok just before the election.
Well, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens to TikTok now. Is somebody else gonna buy it, or things like that?
Yeah.
I'll be interested to see how that's gonna all play out next few
Yeah,
years.
Musk, if you want to buy TikTok and make that better, that would be great.
Well, yeah, that, and how about Facebook while you're at it?
Yeah, just give him so much money, that
He's
they
got
will
the
say
money,
yes.
I'm sure, but
Yeah, yes,
I
the
mean,
fucking money.
even X could be better in some aspects. I mean, it's not
Good.
perfect.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
still I will say though, it does feel more like a balanced platform. People seem to be
Yeah.
able to speak their minds and being
Twitter
crazy.
/X is a lot better. I still have issues with certain things
Yes.
that I wish would be a little bit better. Especially, you have to pay for so much if you want to do this
Yeah,
and this.
I'm not
Not a
really a
big.
fan. I mean, I know some people have the check mark, maybe more than some people, but I'm just not there to wanting to get that every month for the $8. It's not that
No, not
expensive,
me
but
neither. Me
I
neither.
thought I was like, aren't they making enough money? Can't we have being able to stream on X for free? But they took that away, so
But it
Gotta
is what it
keep
is, of course.
yes.
But other than that, Kilted, how are you doing, man? What have you been up to? How's the stream and videos been going? How's the new computer, by the way?
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Streams are going good. As people coming to hang out to watch my suffering while playing Dragon Age Veilguard, which is
You decide to so wait, you found a way to have somebody give that to you, right? Kilted, not
no about it.
well, it is a $60 game, so what you just decided to torture yourself with this, or what's going on?
I put my money where my mouth is. I've been shitting all over the game. I've
Okay.
been dumping all over the game, the developers and the look and everything. And
Yeah.
I decided to put my money where my mouth is and check it out for myself. And it's worse than I thought.
Okay. So, but you see, so you feel you don't feel that you wasted money, the $60 on this then, right?
I can't get that time back.
Okay.
And,
You cannot get the money back or the time back.
Yeah. So, but it is what it is.
Are you finding any fun with the game at all?
Laughing at it.
Okay.
Laughing at the absolute travesty that is the writing. And
Oh yeah, we talked
think
about it on Monday. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well,
no,
it's just
no,
like a
hold on,
lot
hold
of
on.
stuff that. Yeah, go ahead.
It got worse. It got worse.
It got worse.
It does.
What I was talking about, the writing with Harding, where you're supposed to go out in the wilderness to help her use her abilities, and you can use her abilities before completing her mission, which is like this is bad programming. Well, when I jumped back on Tuesday night to stream for a little while, I get these jelly bellies out of my mouth. I started right up onto a mission where you pick one city or another while they're both getting attacked by dragons, and you going fight a blighted dragon. Cool, neat, Dragon Age, fighting dragons, whatever. And you fight in this nice big ass arena. The dragon looks silly because it's got blight all over its face. It doesn't really look like a dragon except it's got wings anyway.
Disappointing.
I'm beating on it. I use all my healing potions and I die. And I'm like, oh, I was surprised. I can actually die here. But I have to revive. So I was like, okay, cool. I revive. Let's see how much longer I last. And then all of a sudden the dragon flies away I wasn't even paying attention as to why. I think the elven god that was controlling it said, "We have other things to do." The
Mhm.
dragon, I think I may have done one of the people that watched said I may have done 10%. I thought I did maybe 15-20% damage to it. I did not do a lot of damage to it. However, the dialogue afterwards, you barely do any damage to this dragon, and I would have died. If the fight would have continued, I was dead. The dialogue afterwards acts like you did this was some major accomplishment, talking like the dragon got away before we could defeat it, and I'm sitting there dying laughing at this. Like, you spent 10 years on this, and there's ways you can handle these triggering events, these triggered events, because that's what it was. You go against a dragon, it is a triggered event. You are not supposed to you're not supposed to kill the dragon. He's not supposed to kill you. There's
What?
better ways to do it. There's better ways, not triggered events, scripted events. Sorry.
Okay.
They should have, you should have been able to do more damage to it to give you a false sense of victory. That's what those scripted events are for. And the studio did an absolutely abysmal job accomplishing that. Acting like, oh, we almost beat the dragon. It's like, you take a look. Anyway.
A 10 out of 10 game, it's all.
Oh, return to form.
Oh,
It is a return to form.
Return to the blueprints of the game.
Yeah, and now Trash is part of my group. I mean, Tosh. She's Trash.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that non-binary thing, and you have to, do push-ups if you do the wrong
The
pronoun.
dialogue is worse. Just the random. It is so horrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I've seen a bit more of it, and I've heard people talk about it and said her story. Oh, I said her. Oh my god. But her story is really badly written, and it's all over the place.
The whole thing is badly written.
Yeah, of course. But her
No,
story in
well,
general is one of the worst there.
yeah.
A lot of people have said.
Well, it's just like the latest Life is Strange game. Just
Oh
all
god,
the
yeah, I
analysis
saw
that
it all.
Jason and
I saw it all.
did that one day when we were looking into it. It was just
Yeah.
there's less choices, there's less this, there's less that.
Attacking
It's like,
YouTubers who are quote
yes,
unquote alt-right, and of course it had to be a trans character said it too. Of course,
it's so
a
crazy.
lot, and you are basically forced to mostly be gay in it. You can kiss a guy in it, but that's just like a fun kiss. But
Oh no, I'm getting Harding in mid. My characters are female, and I'm taking the ginger midget to bed.
yeah, but we're talking about Life is Strange.
Oh, that
as you
game. I
mentioned.
don't
Yeah,
care about.
yeah. For me, I did because
Okay.
I love the
Yeah.
original games.
You like the original?
Original,
Okay.
the original.
Yeah.
Are they
Yeah.
more story driven games?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
And the first one is really good.
Mhm.
The prequel is
is.
really good. The
Yes.
sequel with the brothers are
I'll have
really
to-
good.
I'll have to play that one.
The
you
third
wanna-
one, the
you wanna
third
kiss
one,
Hmm?
Or is it
the
that's the one that does it? Because there's so much going on. It's like I can't keep up. Which one's the one where you, kiss the guy? The thing.
Life is
The thing.
That
Yeah,
was
so-
very-
yeah. But no,
Yeah.
the third one they did is the third sequel. Is True Colors. I played the whole game. It fucking sucks. Every ending is the same. It's really bad. The story was really badly written, and you really saw it was like more than days of writing.
That's the most
Uh,
recent one you're talking about.
No,
Well-
the True
Oh.
Colors.
well,
the third
even
game.
I've heard
the
stories
last
about the most recent one.
even the last Life is Strange. Like you had less choices.
Yeah,
You
that's
had
what we're
4
talking about.
choices. Yeah, but
You have
you had
less
4
choices. With Life is Strange, the new one. When
Yeah.
we finally play Max again, you are forced to be a lesbian, no matter what. Basically,
That's true.
there's a lot of pride flags everywhere you go.
It's not a lot weird.
It's a
shit in
lot
that
less
game.
dialogue, like less choices. The dialogue is typical Gen Z woke propaganda shit. Really, really bad. Again, in the new Life is Strange, we had a trans character doing one trans joke and also doing trashing YouTubers because they're quote unquote right winged and stuff
Well,
like that. and how toxic we are.
Huh?
And I saw the continuation. They are making this universe into Marvel universe now, with a lot more pop people having powers and team up. They clash the dead world
yeah.
and the living world together, so it's like one world now, a revisited world, and they're gonna find more people to make a team, basically. um and no, the story is just all over the place. And if you want to have a cat mission, you have to pay more to get a cat mission in the game.
Now, is that a character or an actual animal, Mister?
It's just a cat that comes up on your
Yes.
door, and
Oh, okay.
you're gonna name it and just choose the species of the cat, and the cat is just gonna be there in the game. So it's just a
Choose the
little.
species. Simple. It's a cat.
Well,
Feline. There
what
you
they
are.
what they did was here's another example of, once again, they took a really good concept with the original Life is Strange,
Yeah,
and they just dummied it down. They
yeah.
basically made everything
And
less, which is really lame.
the endings
Wait, are
of
you
the
talking
first
about Life is Strange or Dragon Age: The Veilguard?
No, Life is
Dragon
You're
Strange.
talking about
Life is
both of them because
Strange.
they
Yes.
dumbed. They
They,
dumbed
yeah,
it.
they
Yeah,
dummied down that one
and
too. I
Yeah.
know.
the
I've seen.
endings of the first game doesn't really matter anymore.
Uh,
Um, no matter what choice it is, because it was kind of confirmed in the game that after what happened in the first game, the blue-haired chick, the lesbian, um,
Always
she's
blue hairs.
that was
yeah,
Claire, right, or
yeah,
whatever.
Chloe.
Chloe, excuse me, Chloe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she apparently survived. They had a relationship after that, moved in together. So again, I've said this before. When it comes to Life is Strange, they had two different continuities. They had a game continuity where you sacrifice Chloe. That's the official ending. And you have the other unofficial ending, if you want to save her and be a selfish bastard and just kill the rest of the town. Um, but what they
I go
did,
with to get rid of the Chloe
And
character.
what was really
but
funny too
let me
is like
finish
the
this.
yeah, go ahead.
With the two different continuities, they made a whole comic book series of Chloe living. They made a whole comic book series about that lesbian relationship and all that. And then you had the game series that had the other continuity. But what they did with the new Life is Strange, they just basically based it on the comic series and added a little bit from the story of the original one. So yeah, it's a total fucking mess. I have said this. I almost bought the game because I got tricked by the trailer. The trailer did its job. The trailer lied a lot. What they promised us. The trailer looked completely different of what the story was going to be about. And it did its job, made me interested, made me really happy because finally they looks like they listened to the fans here that have been asking for a true sequel to the main character. And I was stupid enough to buy into that in the beginning, but I had to think. I had to think when the game was out. I had to be okay. I never pre-order stuff. I don't really buy stuff really fast. I need to go back to who I am right there. Um, and then I did my research instead. And then I saw the two first episodes were out. And I said, fuck it. I'm going to watch everything of the two first episodes before I decide. And that was enough for me to not buy it. And when the full game came out, I watched it all on YouTube instead. I watched it all on YouTube, saw the whole storyline, and yeah, it's bad. Just play the old Life is Strange games. Play the prequel, the first game, and the one with the brothers, and that's where it ends. Nothing more after that.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make sense because it's funny too. Even when Max is nice to the trans character turns on Max. I don't need you in my life anymore. It's like, wow, it's harsh.
Yeah, it's all over the
You know,
place with that story.
this is walking right into stereotypes that people have.
Yes.
So why
Yes.
are you going to continue doing the? You're making these characters all be narcissistic assholes,
Yes.
self-centered, and all that. How is that supposed to help out relations, right? How is that supposed to make you want to go out and not necessarily search for them, have friends, but if you run into somebody and you kind of hit it off for being friends, uh, makes you a little bit leery. Well, is this person going to react the way that I've always seen them in the media? Especially games like this, being you're really nice, and then you're going to be hassling me after you use me.
Right.
I mean, it's bad enough straight people do that with each other, you know.
Yes, they do.
Yep. And
Yeah.
before we get into other stuff, I
And
do want to
I
say
was,
hey to Hunty.
oh hi, Hunty.
Hail to Hunt. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. And of course, we have the troll himself, Phil McCracken.
Work on some new
Yeah.
material, Phil. Come on.
So he
Yeah.
says
Well, that's
again,
just
hashtag team epic fail once again going at and failing like no other. Viva
Yeah.
la Trump. I like the last one. You know, it was a glorious day.
well,
Trump back in office and all that. It's amazing that he's president again. Um, and also, Phil, did you know that I'm bisexual?
Ah, ah,
Oh no.
uh,
uh,
and he said, I like when Baron mentioned names.
what do you mean mention names?
I
What
have
names
no
did I
clue.
mention? I don't either. But that's just it. Come on, man. You got to work on your material a little bit more. I was really impressed with your early work, but you kind of turned into Woody Allen that way. Your earlier stuff was the funny stuff.
Yeah, with
So
North
we want
Korea
we want
and
more stuff like Midnight in Paris, Phil. Come on,
yeah,
man.
come on,
and have
come on,
yes,
Mhm, mhm.
yes, I do.
come on. Strive out a little bit more. It's not that
And
you're roasting us, Phil. It's just the fact it's the same ones over and over again. And it's having, come on, new fresh material there, fresh material. I
and
always try to
Hunty
find
said,
something new for you.
I've never played Life is Strange, but I've seen part in the Brothers one where wait, I'm allowed to say it, or is that a spoiler? Well,
I
it's really old game, so it's completely
yeah, it's
okay.
whatever.
Yeah, it's old game, so that's completely fine. I am actually gonna, because I don't have it on my computer, I'm gonna buy the second one again, and I'm gonna play it in Japanese because they have translated everything with Japanese voice actors for the game.
Oh,
I
okay.
never, yeah, I never thought that was gonna happen with the second game, so that was really fun to see. So I'm gonna play it in Japanese and just for funs of it because it's different
Jason's turning
and
Japanese. I think he's turning Japanese. I
Mhm,
really think
yeah, I
so.
am.
mhm,
He's
mhm.
turning Japanese. Jason's turning Japanese. I really think so. Bum, 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 bum.
But yeah, we are gonna get into some topics, of course, tonight. Um, and we have a couple. So we are gonna, of course, start with let me get it up on the screen, and that is
Click.
I there. Let me get it. There we go. That is one of the
Did you
main
get it
topics
up?
actually today.
Did you get it up?
Yeah, yeah, and that is Spider-Man Noir first look at Nicolas Cage costume. And we talked about this. I don't remember when, but it's been a long time ago since we talked about announcement of the series. And all of us that talked about it at the time thought it was going to be an animated show because connecting to the Miles Morales movies. But it is a live action TV series with Nicolas Cage, of course, as Spider-Man Noir, one of my favorite Spider-Mans,
I'm down.
and and a really different Spider-Man that we are used to, of course. More of
hmm
a he's more of a crime thriller styled Spider-Man universe, and of course, it's in black and white. The comics and stuff. It is really cool that it's like a lot more black and white and all this kind of stuff, and the crime style of it. So we get a first look at Nicolas Cage Spider-Man Noir costume. Is currently underway on a new series coming to Amazon Prime through Sony TV. I'm of course gonna watch this. It's Nicolas Cage, and he did a fantastic job as Spider-Man Noir. I'm so gonna watch this. It's gonna be so fun to see him. You know. And also being an older Spider-Man Noir is gonna be interesting because he's an older guy. He's an older guy, so it's gonna be really interesting to see. It's not gonna be, the typical young Spider-Man that we are mostly used to,
Right, because he was always
teenager and
he.
all that.
Mhm,
So
yeah.
he's a grown up here, established, grown up Spider-Man, Spider-Man Noir. It's gonna be
Spider-Man,
interesting.
Spider-Man.
The image shows off the comic book accurate take of the character, and I just want to do this, so maybe we'll have some more pictures. Yeah,
Kid
we have
likes
some more.
pictures.
So we do actually have some
Should be a
more
video
pictures
somewhere
of
out
it.
there too.
Yeah,
That
I
that
actually
little
have it
stream out
all
there.
up here. So here we have a little, and we will go to the other one after. So of course, when you just look at that, it's so comic book lore accurate, and it's not often we get that. Not often we get that comic book lore accurate. So I'm really happy about that, and hope the writing is good, of course. But again, Nicolas Cage is in it, and he's always something to say if you do something bad with the script. He's a special guy when it comes to the stuff that he works in. um Per the official description, Spider-Man Noir tells the story of an aging and down on his luck private investigator in the 1930s New York, who forced to grapple with his past life as the city's one and only superhero. And again, it's an older Spider-Man Noir. I think it's actually pretty good because I think it's really fun to finally see a more grown-up Spider-Man who's
Mhm.
not just a kid, a teenager kid or whatever you want to say, who becomes Spider-Man. You have like a whole origin story of him trying to be Spider-Man. Actually an
Right.
established Spider-Man. In addition, Nicolas Cage, Lamore Morris plays Robbie Robertson, who will be a regular on series regular. Um, his character is officially described as driven, hardworking, and won't take no for an answer. Dedicated journalist trying to make it with the odds stacked against him as a black professional in 1930s New York. He takes on riskier stories that no one else would touch in order to catch attention and a paycheck. He's willing to do whatever is necessary to his career. So it's also starring Jack Houston, Lee Yun Lee, Brandon Glanston, Abraham Papola, or how you pronounce it. Ecstasy producers include Oren Usul, Steve Lightfoot, Amy Pascal, of course, I expected that, and Phil Lord, Christopher Miller, who are behind Sony's Spider-Man verse films. So we know this is kind of going to be a little bit, connected with Miles Morales movies. It's just, Spider-Man Noir's universe, of course. Oren Usul is writing and is known for The Lost City and the Mortal Kombat movie and Shimmer Lake and 22 Jump Street. And again, I see Mortal Kombat, and that guy did a fucking perfect movie. Other than the main character was the only thing. It was a little boring, but you get used to him. But everything else other than the main character, the main character will grow on you to a certain point. He really does. But everything else around the Mortal Kombat movie, he cared about the characters from Mortal Kombat, even with the little reimagining on certain parts, like most movies do sometimes. But you have to respect the source material, and he did. I think that's a great movie. I'm excited for the sequel for it, and at least I'm happy for the writer. I hope it's gonna be well written story. A previous description also offers the series follows an older, grizzled superhero in the 1930s New York City. The show has also been said to be set in its own universe that involves an alternate Spider-Man character who is not Peter Parker. The alternate version of Spider-Man emerged in a version of New York during the Great Depression. So let's get into the picture so we can look at that too. So we can look more at this amazing suit. So here we have a little bit closer up picture of the suit. And this is the stunt double, of course. And they have the
Mhm.
Amazing Spider-Man stunt double. The stunt double did great in the Amazing Spider-Man. The stunts were really great in that movie. Even Andrew Garfield did some of his own stunts too. I
Really?
remember, and yeah, Andrew Garfield talked
Surprised.
about that when when he was swinging as Spider-Man, he's never done it before, and the impact with when you feel the swing and get the wind, the pressure on your face and stuff like that, he
Right.
started bleeding so much, in his nose, knees bleed, he
Mhm.
nosebleed, because he's never done that before. So he thought it was, I think, s- good stunt double, and I was also want to praise, of course, Andrew Garfield for doing some of his own stunts. I always love when actors do some of their own stuff.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I can understand not the super dangerous ones like flaming cars and such, but yeah, it's just nice to see
Mhm.
someone who looks like them because it is them instead of
Yeah, and look at
like some of
this.
Shatner's stump doubles.
Yeah,
Mm.
and look at this. Look at this suit, how comic book accurate it is. It's like looking at the comic itself. So I was gonna say it's not often we get to see so lore accurate suits. So one of my
Right.
favorite suits of all time when it comes to the Spider-Mans. And no, I absolutely love that. If I ever gonna do a cosplay on an expo thing, this is a cosplay I would love to do.
It is cool.
Mhm. Yes, it
It
is.
is. But that's all we have of it, of course. So we will talk more about that. Just gonna say hi to some people.
Yeah.
Hunt also said the part where the mountain lion hunted the boy's dog, and yes, yeah, I know that was a hard choice. I had to think a lot about that choice myself in the game. I sure hope they have good writing. It looks like it. Hopefully, the writer is promising in my view. And hail to Canadian Spider-Man. We're talking about a Spider-Man thing
Whoa,
that's coming out,
whoa.
and then we have the
Very cool.
Canadian Spider-Man. Why don't we have a movie about the Canadian Spider-Man? We need
Eh?
a movie about Canadian Spider-Man. You know
I
what?
agree
Maybe
with
one
you.
day we can make a fucking movie out of Canadian Spider-Man. Fan film
And
Spider-Man. We
Mexican
call it
Iron Man.
and Mexican Iron Man. Let's make a whole film of that. That would be great.
Why not?
um, and hail to you, man. I hope you're doing well, brother. Always good to see you. And of course, the Mr. Soul Assassin. Always good to see you, brother. Always good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Leave my
What
soul alone, man. Just leave my soul alone.
What Spider-Man Noir brings new fans to the noir genre, might give us a new Phantom or Shadow film. Um, it's going to be a series, but it might have a lot of these kind of vibes. And again, when it comes to Spider-Man Noir to people out there, it is a thriller, crime styled. It's a really dark universe in that kind of sense, and different.
Yeah.
And I like those universes, especially like the Phantom, and then the Shadow movie with wasn't it with the guy, Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin, yeah.
But the movies, I like the movie. I just don't like the guy, but I like the movie. So it's more of those kind of vibes. What do you guys think? Baron, Kilted, and Cash. What do you guys think? Are you think this can be interesting?
Could be. I'm
I-
definitely going to check it out. I
Could
don't
be
know.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah, I don't
anything
know.
about
Mhm.
Noir, Spider-Man Noir. I know
Yeah, I
nothing
don't.
about him
I don't
outside
really.
of when he showed up in
The Miles Morales movies.
the Spider-Verse
Right.
movies.
Right.
So yeah, we'll see. It's Nicolas Cage, so hell yeah.
Yeah, you should see if you can find some of the comics and read them and see how you feel about it, because they're
Hmm.
really interesting and really cool. I
Well,
enjoy them.
this really because I have not read any of the comics. I'll be one other because one is Marvel. I'm not a Marvel guy, but this definitely is a Marvel title. I'd be very tempted to pick up and watch. It's almost like them doing Spider-Man into a bit of Batman. But yeah, I'd love to see this Noir come back because I've always been a
Yep.
fan of the Shadow. The Shadow was
Yep.
no. I picked up the 70s series done by DC. They did an 80s series with him. They had the Shadow meet Batman, and that was kind of kicking off the Shadow series. So I guess he's officially a DC superhero. But yeah, I like that because it's gritty. It's
Yep.
if these kids think that they're the first ones to be emo goth, acting this way, the Gen Zers, you ain't seen nothing yet when you get yourself some genuine noir out there, and
Yep.
it's like, okay, come on, try to beat this, kids. Well, the only way I can
Yep.
do that is by doing that. It's like, you got that point, now do it right.
Yeah, and I recommend, for Kilted, you Baron, and Cash to check out the comics. I think you guys would actually like that.
I think it would. I think it would. Cash wouldn't. So, Cash, don't waste your time.
Whatever, Baron.
But no,
Oh, that does sound interesting, though. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, I absolutely gonna check this out. And it's again Nicolas Cage of all people, and it's like
Well,
that casting was so perfect too for the character. He just again. Nicolas Cage can be a really good actor as long as he gets the right
You
script and
can.
the right people behind it. But he can play
Depends.
a lot. It really depends on who is behind the pen of the movie. It's like again, I will say
oh,
Nicolas Cage was great as Ghost
He
Rider,
was.
especially the first one. He was
I've
great
never
as Ghost
watched
Rider.
that, but I did, of course, enjoy him in Face Off and The Rock, and
mhm. Well, that was John Travolta.
And one thing I love about
but
Nicolas
Nicolas
Cage,
Cage was in Nice Try, Bear. That's
yeah,
funny.
and one thing I like about Nicolas Cage, he is a
That's good.
big comic book guy. He's a
Well,
big comic book guy. That's the reason why he changed his last name to Cage, because one of his favorite characters is Luke Cage. AK, people
mhm.
don't know. That's actually a black guy.
Yeah, it is.
Whoa,
But
whoa,
wow. But Nicolas Cage was such a fan of Luke Cage that he wanted to change his last name to Cage when he became an actor. And he's like, he is a down to earth comic book
Hmm.
geek, and
Well, yeah.
that's one thing why I'm also happy that he's part of this project, because he when it comes to scripts and stuff like that, he is really picky. He is really different than a lot of other people out there. He is just a special person, a nice way to say it. And
And we're not
I
saying
think,
short but special.
but I will say, with him on board still as Spider-Man Noir, I have a little more faith in it, especially when I know who he is and how big of a fan he is, and he's a big part of this.
Mhm.
It would never be a Spider-Man Noir movie. No, I mean TV show if it wasn't for, of course, the Spider-Verse movies, because Spider-Man Noir, especially the first one, he was one of the big ones that a lot of people loved. Was Spider-Man Noir? A lot of people loved him, and yes, I'm not the biggest fan of the Spider-Verse movies, but one thing I like, especially with the first one, that is Spider-Man Noir. That is the character I liked the most in the whole movie. That's one of the reasons I wanted to watch the whole movie, is because of Spider-Man Noir. In my view, at least.
Well, that's the one thing that gives me hope in this film is what you just said there. He is a huge comic book geek, and I think I heard
Yep.
that one of the reasons why
Yeah, and
why
just what
sorry.
just what Soul Assassin said. I've seen that too. There's a video of Nick Cage at Comic Con in line talking to kids about comics. Dude knows his stuff, and he does. He is more comic book guys than anyone here on the panel, to say it at least. Like
Oh yeah, oh
he
yeah.
is
I
a down
mean,
to earth, just a geek.
right. And from my understanding, the thing that really caused strife in his marriage with Lisa Marie Presley was she wanted him to get rid of all his comics or a lot of his comics, and
Oh, really?
that's
I
just
hadn't
because
heard about
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay.
and of course the fact she was Scientologist and trying to turn him into a Scientologist, even though
Mm.
he's always made it known I'm a Catholic, you know.
Yep.
So I mean,
And Soul Assassin said, y'all should look up the YouTube channel called Batfeed. He does Batman lore videos in the 1920s and the 80s. Well, that's kind of cool, man. I will absolutely remember that. I like to follow other YouTube channels that makes talks about lore stuff and stuff like that. It's always
oh, in the
interesting.
'80s, in the '80s is when you started getting some real kick-ass Batman stories. I mean, you had Year One, you had of course the you had Dark Knight Returns, all that, and yeah, it's wild time.
Yep, and also Hunter said his role in the Snap knockoff, movie. I remember that movie was hilarious. Yeah, I thought that movie was funny, and he doesn't speak in the movie and stuff like that. But It's a fun movie. But
He had a
no,
solid role in the first Kick-Ass movie, even though whatever happened to him, but he had a solid
yeah.
role in that. Mhm.
But no, again, it's like I said, Nicolas Cage is a great actor when he gets the right scripts and the right
Right.
parts. And
Well, he's a Coppola.
yeah, and one thing I also like about Nicolas Cage is that every time he works with people on films, he looks at their resume of movies. He watches their movies, their TV shows. He goes down to the lore of what they're doing, you know? He goes and watch to see who they are, how they act, learn who they are, learn their acting methods. And he can I saw a lot of interviews with him talking with other actors, and that's the stuff he talks about. You know, I saw you in this movie and this, and you did this. You know, he knows his stuff when it comes to whatever he's interested in.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
remember his conversation with Harrison Ford, and was like, "Oh, do you? No, man, I was too stoned, Nick. Well, what about this film that you were doing? And in the end, I don't know. I was too stoned, man. I don't remember any of that. How about the
Yeah,
Force
with
Awakens?
Nicholas Hoult.
Oh
Yeah,
man, I don't remember that decade at all.
yeah. And so says I heard Cage is a great Dracula in the recent film he was in. Yeah, with not Nicholas Hoult, who also
Hmm.
played the Beast in the Young X-Men, and
Yes.
also played a big role in the old British TV series Skins. I watched all of Skins. Really great series if you haven't watched it. Really good drama series, and not all the seasons are good, but the early seasons was really good. Like Nicholas Hoult, a really great actor too. And then you had that other Asian woman, Antiqua or Atuqua. I don't fucking know her fucking name, but she's an annoying bitch.
Okay.
But
Don't play
she was
Phil Cash. I mean, Jason.
yeah, but
What?
she was fine in that movie. But Nicolas Cage in that movie was, you know, the Nicholas Hoult and Nicolas Cage together was a great fucking combo together. And Nicolas Cage, he played Dracula really well, and you know, the funny bits of Dracula, the scary bits of Dracula. He did a pretty good job, a really good job with it. So Nicholas Hoult and Cage is the reason I enjoyed the movie. Why I really enjoyed it. I recommend the movie. Yeah.
He's
But yeah,
recommending the movie, folks.
but yeah, I am excited at least for this series. I have some faith in it because of Nicolas Cage and especially the writer for what he's done. Um so yeah, I think that any last words you guys want to say about the suit or anything else?
Um, Spider Pig does whatever a Spider Pig does. Can he swing
Dun-dun-dun,
from a web?
dun-dun-dun.
No, he can't, 'cause he's a pig. Watch out! Here comes the Spider Pig. There. I'm done.
Woohoo! Spider Pig's the best.
Yeah, even better than Peter Porker.
Yeah,
The
Peter Porker.
attack,
Yeah.
That's a
Peter
good one
Porker,
too.
the attack
Oh,
on
wait,
Spider
talking about-
Ham.
no
Yeah.
one.
But
Like
any
you're talking about Peter
final
Porker Spider Ham? No, the original Spider Ham, not that stupid fucking name.
but any final thoughts about it before getting to the next
No.
topic?
No, I don't have any more. Looks good. Looks like it could be good.
Could
Looks
be interesting.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And he's involved in it. At least it gives me some hope.
Yeah, he is like, you know, Henry Cavill cares about the source material.
Well, I'd like to see him and Henry Cavill go into a geek war with each other. Well,
Oh
put 'em
god,
in
that
charge
would
of
be
somebody
fun.
both. Oh god, that would be Geek Wars.
Geek Wars. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hosted-
dude, I would have
hosted by
loved to see
Henry
them
Cavill.
together, man.
and Nicolas Cage.
Hey, Henry Cavill and Nicolas Cage, do you want to come on our show and we can have a full geek show? We want you
Little
guys
man-
here.
They're gonna
Little
be like,
man
and
too.
how much are you gonna pay us?
Yeah.
I have my ways.
Ah,
uh,
I know. Okay, yeah. Blackmail
Oh,
always works.
yeah, of course. But no, no other final thoughts. But yeah,
No.
and Hunty said Henry
course.
Cavill. Of course,
She heard the magic
course.
words.
She heard the magic
You know,
word.
if we were able to get him to do anything with us, she would just, she would die. I mean, she'd just be, oh, get the vapors, as they used to call them. If they
Yep.
make sure someone's there with her, so just in case,
That would
Victor,
be if Jace or one of us could actually pull something like that off. That would be a massive freaking stream.
Yeah,
You'd
that would
have
be
you'd have some other bigger YouTubers in here. Who knows? It'd be insane.
yeah,
You guys
customer
heard this
sub.
smaller channel got Henry Cavill, and people go just lose their fucking
Yeah, it
minds.
would.
Yeah, they would.
But we're gonna go, of course, get to the next article, and we will go with Cash Money. Do you have your article ready?
Yeah, I
cash.
do. Woohoo!
Cash
I
Money,
got my article
savior
ready.
of the Chase first. Boom, 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 boom.
So
So I'll
you have-
just present it.
Don't you dare present yourself. I know what happened last time.
Uh,
I still haven't recovered.
all right. So
What
we have
the
an
hell
article
was that?
here. We got an article here from Niche Gamer. Grand Theft Auto 6 boss mocked for comments about not releasing during Trump's presidency.
Interesting.
Yes. It's just
And
Mhm.
shouldn't he be? I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
moron, loser.
So
No, but yeah,
Rockstar co-founder Dan Houser is getting mocked by mocked by online netizen for old comments where he boasted Grand Theft Auto 6 wouldn't release under a Donald Trump presidency.
Is netizen still being used?
I guess so, man.
I
It's
thought
the first time I've seen that word in I don't know how long. So yeah.
I know. It's like,
hmm But the original comments from Hauser revealed the now former Rockstar boss was thankful the long-awaited sequel wouldn't launch while Trump is president of the United States. This stuff is
Wow.
so weird.
well, that's
It's really
4 years.
right, exactly. It's really unclear what we would even do with it, let alone how upset people would get with whatever we did, Hauser said in a 2018 interview for Red Dead Redemption 2 launching. Both intense liberal progression and intense conservatism are both very militant and very angry, Hauser said. Doesn't this just sound like excuses, though, guys? I don't know. Anyways.
Well, holding back your game is about the same level of the same militancy because you're now
Exactly.
going after people who have, I just want to play my fucking game. Leave me alone, man.
Right. It's scary. Exactly. It's scary, but it's also strange. And yet both of them seem occasionally to veer
Stupid?
towards the absurd. Right. Yeah. Stupid. Yeah. He added, it's hard to satirize for those reasons. Some of the stuff you see is straightforwardly beyond satire. It would be out of date within 2 minutes. Everything is changing so fast. This still sounds like
Sounds
That
so
sounds like
weird,
a
man.
I saw this article and I just laughed. I'm like, Hauser, you really said this stuff. These comments from Hauser are getting him dragged online now. Though
Good.
because Donald Trump was just elected to be the 47th president of the United States and will take the oath of office on January 20th, 2025. You know what is also scheduled for 2025? The release of Grand Theft Auto 6, which is set to launch sometime in the fall of 2025 on Xbox XS and PlayStation 5. Also noticing this users on Twitter/X, we'll just call it Twix, and Facebook promptly began to joke about the genuine comedic effect of the game finally getting a release window and Trump being reelected as president. Some users, some users even went so far as to suggest Trump being reelected will inevitably force Grand Theft Auto 6 to get delayed again. To avoid releasing under Trump, however, it would need to be delayed until 2029 when the next president is sworn into office.
And what would happen if that's J.D. Vance?
Right. I know, right?
Oh, we're just gonna delay the game even further.
I
I'm just saying. I'm not thinking
it's
making
so
predictions.
weird.
I'm just giving a what if.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. It's also worth mentioning Dan Houser left Rockstar Games back in 2020 and launched his own company, Absurd Ventures. Absurd
Wow, geez,
Ventures.
that sounds about right, huh?
Right. First project are two original storytelling universes with both American Caper and A Better Paradise. Both of those projects are not video games. They'll release initially as a graphic novel and an audio fiction series, respectively.
Hmm.
I'm surprised he doesn't want to work on some more games and stuff. But the whole point of Grand Theft Auto has always been satire. It's a game
Right.
that has to be politically incorrect always. And if ever gets more politically correct, it's going to go, people are going to be confused because they're like, you guys are taking away what this game has always been. I mean, you throw a hooker out of a car, you run over a hooker, the hooker
Yeah.
might get up, you run over her again, she might get up
Yep.
again, and somebody starts shooting you in the game. I mean, the game is crazy. Like, it's just
That is the
crazy.
point, though.
That's right.
That was the perfect time for the video game filled to the brim with politically incorrect satire. I mean,
Yeah.
just go hard. Go hard with it.
Yes.
Man,
Please go hard with it. Exactly. It's just that's what it's.
That's what she said.
Just take it. Look,
And again, you'll make billions and billions.
that's right. People
Yep.
can say what they want about Trevor and how gross he was and stuff, but he was still an interesting character. And you still, even if you only played the campaign or the single player part of Grand Theft Auto, you would still get your money's worth. You wouldn't even need the multiplayer. The multiplayer's nice, but it does have its problems.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
No.
I know, right?
That. Oh, I was. You can do it, but the hell you say?
But yeah, this is really funny. I don't really know what to say about other than this is absolutely funny and weird.
So what? If Harris won, then it would have been released on time, and because Trump won, it gets delayed. I mean, it just sounds so weird.
Well, you know what it sounds like?
Sounds really
We're holding
stupid,
this
though.
game hostage. You either
Yeah.
vote for Harris or we're going to withhold
Right.
this game from you.
Yeah,
like,
it's just
excuse me,
bizarre.
Isn't stuff like that illegal?
Yes.
Honestly, if you're going to use this as a weapon to punish people and make them vote the way you want, that in and by itself is a form of terrorism and electioneering.
Yep. It is. It's just weird that they do this stuff.
Well, I mean, what would happen if
They
we had a
satirize
game
for
system? A great game, people love it, but we said that if Kamala Harris wins, we're going to wait until after her presidency.
Right, but I mean, yeah, it's just funny, satirize for those reasons. It's like, why are we making excuses about this? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And they just so what's gonna? Who cares? Who cares who's president? Grand Theft Auto went on with
Exactly.
whoever president was.
It doesn't matter.
I don't get it. It starts making me wonder: is there some shenanigans going on because a certain orange man is back in office now, the evil orange guy.
Wow,
Yep.
you don't like the Cheeto with a toupee?
Is your mic working?
Whose?
Barron's.
Aaron's.
Yeah. Unless he's doing that on purpose. I don't know.
No, I'm not doing it on purpose.
Oh, okay.
Unless he's oh, fucking never mind. I screwed it up.
How am I doing now? How am I doing?
No, you're
now?
doing good.
We can
You're
hear
doing
you.
good.
We can hear you.
Okay.
Y'all had a chance. Y'all had the
it's just-
opportunity, and you just dropped it. Come on.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. Grand Theft Auto 6, it should be awesome, but I have no idea. I have lower expectations for it until I actually see it. I want to actually see gameplay. People got all excited about that trailer, fine, but I want to actually see gameplay. Good gameplay.
I just want to, when it comes to games, I want to see game trailer. I want to see the gameplay.
Yeah.
I feel that that's the important thing that I want to see more of. It's like I don't want to see a whole cinematic
Hunty.
trailer.
Probably not.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't want to see a whole cinematic trailer at all. I want to see a little bit of, the cinematics, but not
That's
too much.
fine,
I
but
want to see more of the gameplay.
I want to see gameplay. I want to see
Yeah,
if
but-
they're really going to keep the humor of this, or are they actually, because they made it clear before that they want this for a modern audience, and that's when I start getting worried. And people are like, "Oh, but the game hasn't come out yet," and we've heard that before too. So, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, the thing is though too, really, the quote unquote satire in that game is one directed, so it's not satire because they're taking an aim only at one side. But that one side that he's thankful for has a fucking sense of humor. Because if you were starting to tease the other side, they'd be crying, they'd be going to their therapist, they'd be trying to figure out ways to have the federal government close you down because of the wheeling through a head. But no, I mean,
Exactly.
theirs was just absolutely raking people who were right of center across the coals. And but they didn't do much about people who were left of center. Okay, fine, whatever. It's but we
Right.
find it funny. And you know what?
Mhm.
Let that be something that that just digs at you that we didn't find. We weren't offended. We were actually amused. They
Yeah.
keep getting unlike them. We do have a sense of humor, and we can laugh at ourselves.
Yes.
Don Rickles, for Christ's sake.
Somebody fires off a rocket and explodes somebody else, and they go flying halfway across the
Yeah.
map. Somebody jumps out of a helicopter. I mean,
Exactly.
it's just crazy.
But
So
any final thoughts on this whole thing that he said? We start with Kilted. Do you have anything you want to say about it?
If he wants to be a self-absorbed, narcissistic, pretentious twat because the Orange Man bad, well then fine, lose money. Nobody like, and if he's not, and if the studio's not careful and they don't release something that's actually true to form,
That's right.
filled
Oh.
with over the top, politically incorrect jokes over and over, which is what people gravitated to
With the
in
games.
Grand Theft Auto. If he wants to break away from that, fine, sure,
Right.
Yeah.
lose money.
Lose the
I
fans.
don't- you'll lose your hardcore. You have okay. Let me say this: you have a good chance because it's still it's still Grand Theft Auto. Okay,
Right.
people are gonna
Yeah,
buy it.
right.
People are gonna buy it.
Yes. that
But
is true.
it needs to. If he wants to, man,
And he's not even there anymore. So the
Yeah.
new people that are taking over, we'll just see. But
just hope for a game that's just like the previous games with the humor
Yes.
and the
Right.
gameplay and all the extra stuff that you can do. That's all they got to do. They have a formula that is
Let
that is
people
winning them
go into
billions and
buildings
billions and billions
more.
and billions.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep
Mhm.
those strip clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make
Yep.
the real strip clubs.
Give even more choices. Let people go into the malls more. Let people go in more buildings. Let
And
people
let
own
the
more
players
stuff.
mod
That's
the
right.
game.
And add back, some stuff they had with all the older games where you could, work out, become fat when you eat,
Right.
work out and be
Exactly.
big with muscles, like you
Yes.
did with
Yes.
that one game.
Mhm.
Add back some cool
Sims?
stuff like that too.
Yes.
But Cash, Baron, any final thoughts before we get to the next article?
Well, I think first of all, like you said, he's not working for the company, so
Right.
okay, great, big talk, little man. Let your berries drop. Go and get the pump so you can try to get that a little bit larger, and start acting like a friggin' man, you pussy ass bitch. And when I say pussy, I mean pussylatimus. So women, settle down, and you guys like Tim Walls, settle down. But no, it's like honestly, if this really bothering you this fucking much, I got some addresses for you to some lovely hospitals that will take good care of you. You won't get a fork or a knife to eat with. You'll be lucky to get a spoon. But your room, you might start out with a nice, soft, comfortable room, pink because pink is a really relaxing color, as they say. And and you can froth at the mouth how much you hate Trump next to the guy who thinks he's fucking Napoleon. Are the 14 Napoleons they got in that place?
Well,
So-
it's just weird how they phrase this stuff and they make excuses about these things. Once again, it shouldn't matter. Even if a peanut would decide to be president, or we voted in a peanut, maybe the squirrel came back to life. But no, it doesn't matter. It's just Grand Theft Auto can continue whoever the hell is president in office.
Right. I mean, I know your satire, quote unquote satire, because I believe proper satire goes after both sides, but yours only seems to really go one way, so it's not even satire. Don't even use that name because you're just showing how much idiocy you have. And I'm not criticizing the humor. I'm just criticizing the fact that you're trying to pull another fast one like all you guys do.
Yeah.
Think you're so freaking intelligent and all that. Yeah,
It's just
right,
so
whatever.
weird, man. But it's just the excuses. It's like, why? Why? Come on.
Right, right. So I mean, you're not even there. Just
No.
shut up. Just shut up.
And what
Just
about you,
talk about
Cash?
the stuff you worked on.
Yeah. And what
I
about you, Cash? Any
I
final?
just want Grand Theft Auto 6 to be better than 5. I want people to be able to go into more buildings. I want more options for other stuff. Um, just build on whatever 5 was and do better. Even do a better job with the online stuff if they're going to add that. And if they're
Yeah, they are.
the storyline needs to be good too. People will complain about, oh, there's a woman, or you don't like it because there's a woman. It's like, no, it's like you've got to have the same humor. You can't have one character be more important than the other. They have to all be important, just like the last game. Every character in that campaign was important. So,
Right.
mhm.
Well, yeah, exactly. And
Even if you
again,
don't
Yeah,
like the
exactly.
campaign, once again, they were all important. They all mattered about this. If they were complaining, not complaining, going on missions, whatever. Like Trevor was the most disgusting, most interesting character I've ever seen in the game in a long time. Just
and
is.
and you little fanboy nerds out there that go, ew, there's a woman in it. Quit being that fucking stereotype
Yeah.
moron that has been plaguing us real nerds, and yes, I do mean real nerds, uh, out there because we love women in our
Well,
games, our movies, our books, our
yes.
comics. So, that if you're going to start complaining, oh, it's well because there's a woman in there,
Well,
Wonder Woman.
that's what they want to do, though. They say, "Oh, you're upset about Grand Theft Auto 6 because there's a woman in there." I remember somebody tried to
Yeah.
attack me about that before. I'm like, "No, I see a trailer. Why am I supposed to get all that excited about it? Oh, it's Grand
Right.
Theft Auto 6, man. It's great." Okay,
Okay,
So
so
and
you
where's the
just find it.
gameplay?
Yeah.
right,
Where's the
Yeah. You
gameplay,
just
though?
going.
Let me see the
You're going.
gameplay.
Yeah.
please, let's see the
You're just
actual
going.
gameplay.
You're
Yes.
just going after
Yep.
it, going Google because it's got the name. Just like all the people who go see Star Trek stuff or Star Wars stuff. They say,
Right,
oh, it's Star Wars. We got to like it.
right,
Oh,
right.
Yep.
pretty
But yeah.
spaceship. Oh, look, a
Yes.
baby Grogu.
No,
Oh,
exactly,
Lizzo's
exactly.
trying to eat baby Grogu. No baby Grogu. Get away from
Yeah, no,
Lizzo.
exactly.
Run, run.
Yes.
But that's
Yes.
perfect segue to our next topic.
What, Lizzo?
No.
Okay.
But yes, that's our final thoughts. So let's get into the next topic.
Oh, I got more.
The
And
only Star Wars.
furthermore, I got to sit back and say, but we did go to the new topic. I'm sorry, Jake. Back to you.
But we are having one Star Wars topic for today, and we don't often talk about Star Wars that much anymore. Once in a while, it will happen because normally it is the same nonsense every time. But I thought this was a little bit interesting. That they just announced new Star Wars trilogies in the works with Simon Kinberg, who's also known for some of the X-Men movies. The Fantastic Four remake movie, and some other stuff that he's done out there. So it's a hit and miss with the guy. Some stuff can be decent and okay, good, and some stuff can just be trash. So, but apparently
And
they
we're
got
looking
him
at
on
3 of them
board.
that might be.
Yeah, so we got him on board. It's reported that a new Star Wars trilogy is in the works with Simon Kinberg. And how many other Star Wars projects do we have out there that's probably never going to see the day of light or get canceled after one season?
Well, I know of one Star Wars movie trilogy that seemed to have fallen off the face of the freaking earth.
Yeah, I wonder
Great
where
one.
Ryan Johnson's Ryan
Yeah,
Johnson's
then there's
trilogy is.
Ryan Johnson's had the one for Ray. We got to continue on the Palpatine saga.
Yep, and also Soul Assassin said, how many announcements have there been already? A few dozen, and none of it had been made.
Yeah.
It is many.
Just a
So,
few.
Just a few deadlines through the details through deadline offer it will be episodes 6 and 6-1 and 6-11. However, what is unclear if that will continue the Skywalker saga or follow a new story, probably a new story if it ever gonna see the light of day. The deadline is saying it will be a continuation. However, according to the site's insiders, the insiders are stating that Kinberg will not continue the Skywalker storyline, of course, but will instead begin a new saga. The insiders are also saying that the new Kinberg Star Wars movies will sit along Star Wars projects that are in development
Yeah.
from James Mangold, who also is known for, of course, Logan and some other projects with Wolverine and other movies. And he is basing his movie on, the beginning of the Jedi's, Dawn of the Jedi's and all this kind of stuff.
Stick with the books.
Yeah, we know that's not gonna happen. And of course, we have the Sherman Obid, and she has the whole, as you mentioned, the Ray movie continuation with Ray, and we need that. Why? And she is gonna get Luke Skywalker's story of creating a new Jedi temple.
Because I'm all
Yeah.
the Force. I'm all the Force now. You gotta listen. I'm all the Force. And not only that, I'm
Yeah,
a
she's all the
Palpatine
Force.
too.
Well, again, we do know the Force is female according to Disney, so
Oh boy.
Because the
and
Force is a big energy vagina that holds us all together.
Yep. And of course, as I like to call him, take a white titty, as I like to call him. Um,
Ooh.
yeah, I don't know if his movie's ever gonna come out. And and then of course we have the Donald Glover's, Lando movie or series that he was gonna do. Whenever that will come out, of course. And there's also been other projects that's been talked about for a long time. Some of them canceled, some of them we don't even know if they're canceled or still in the works. We don't know.
Well, it's like
Um,
someone being named Bordazar, and they sit back and say, "No, I never was named Bordazar. No, we weren't going to do those things." Well, I don't know where you get the idea that we're going to do these projects.
exactly.
Same energy. Same energy.
And I argue what the insiders are saying isn't totally true. I've been told that take a white titty Star Wars isn't happening. Well, we have had that feeling for a long time that his movie is not going to happen anytime soon or ever. Just like
Ever.
Ryan Johnson. And of course, we can also add that Daisy Ridley's Star Wars movie recently lost its writer. And if I don't remember wrong, the writer was the guy who did the Peaky Blinders.
Oh, Peaky
And,
Blinders. Great.
and
Great.
he's busy actually creating a Peaky Blinders movie that will finish his story. So, hmm, so they're, they don't have that writer. And I think, that's good for him. Stay with stay with the good stuff, brother. Stay
Yeah.
with the stuff
There's
that,
times to take risks in your career. This is not one of them.
yep. And Ridley recently signed on to a new movie that is not Star Wars.
In fact, that is the name of the project, not Star Wars. Come and watch it. It's not Star Wars.
Exactly. If I had to guess, I would guess that James Mangold Star Wars could happen out of any of the above mentioned. Yeah, I think that might happen. Maybe. Maybe. Who knows? Maybe it'll be canned too. Simon
I think
Kinberg
so.
previously worked on Disney and Lucasfilm on the Star Wars Rebels animated series. He also consulted on the Star Wars The Force Awakens. Kinberg is said to be writing and producing the new Star Wars trilogy. Simon Kinberg also produced some of the Deadpool movies. He was also just a producer on it and executive producer on Deadpool and Wolverine. Just a producer, not writer or anything like that. And he also wrote, of course, the X-Men Days of Future Past, fantastic movie. Like I said, with this guy, it is a hit and miss. Sometimes he can create something fucking good and sometimes fucking shit or in the middle. And of
Is he
course,
directly involved with all three movies?
he was just a producer.
No, I'm.
He was a
Mm.
yeah, didn't write them or anything, just a producer on the movies.
Oh.
So he didn't have a lot to do other than producing. It had nothing to do with the story or anything. Just a producer. But the reason Simon Kinberg was producer on these kind of projects because he's been on X-Men projects since Last Stand. He's the reason we had Last Stand.
No, what I'm saying, he's going to be directly involved in this new Star Wars trilogy. Like,
Yeah, he's gonna be directed. He's
person,
gonna direct and write them both.
all
He's
three of
gonna do
them.
both. Yeah,
So they're already getting off to a better start than before.
yeah, he's actually writing and gonna produce, but
So the possibility of having a coherent story, actual progression, continuity, again, off
he
to
is
a
not
better.
good with continuity all the time. He is not the best with
Why do you
continuity.
have to
When
hit? Why do you have to do this to me?
I,
I'm
kn- I, kn-
trying. I'm trying to build up some hope for Star Wars.
it's like I say, I do enjoy a lot of the X-Men movies, even if not all of them are really great. I know a lot of people do not like Last Stand. He was the guy who
It's
created
not
basically Last
terrible.
Stand. So if you don't like Last Stand, you know some of his storytelling. He also did Dark Phoenix that people didn't like.
Didn't
He
watch
wrote
that
it.
one. Heard bad things.
I like the original script for Dark Phoenix, the two-parter movie, to finish it all. When you had Skrulls as the enemy and everything else was different in those movies. But because of the buy-up, Simon Kinberg, they of course rewrote the whole thing. And yeah, it's not the best. There are moments I do enjoy the movie for what it is, but it's still a lot of problems with it, of course. But I still enjoy it for what it is because I love the actors and some of the story. I know what story they were going to try to tell, but it could have been better. But that's why I say he also wrote. He was also one of the writers of Fantastic Four, the remake, the first, the big remake with having
Alpha?
no, the other
Oh,
remake.
the one after one. Okay.
Yeah, the other one that did flop really heavily.
Yeah. Yeah, race swapping and all the other bullshit.
Yeah.
Or did do.
So it's like I say, with him, it is a hit and miss. It is a hit and miss. Um, he has done some writing that has been, I liked his Jumper. He did Jumper with Hayden Christensen, one movie that I totally enjoy.
Hayden
And I think,
Christensen, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that was Hayden Christensen and Samuel L. Jackson, right?
yep.
I thought that
And
that was entertaining.
we were supposed to get a sequel, but it got canceled. So instead, we got like a YouTube series sequel that only is involved with sexual assaults, 90% of the whole series, and it's like a agenda-driven series, a continuation with new characters and all that kind of stuff. So that's how she noticed that she has powers because she's gonna be sexually assaulted.
Okay.
That's what the whole series is mostly about.
Okay.
Yeah. And of
Sounds
course,
like
he did write the first Sherlock Holmes movies, the first Sherlock Holmes movie with Robert Downey Jr.
I like
He
that
was
one.
he was a producer on First Class, but just a producer, not writing it. He was, of course, the writer of Last Stand. Also, he was a writer and producer with Bryan Singer on Days of Future Past. That is a great movie. Of course,
like
the Fantastic Four remake in 2015.
Oh Lord, that's
Never watched that. Never.
And then he did a Cinderella movie as a producer.
Cinderella.
And he also did X-Men Apocalypse with Bryan Singer. I enjoy the movie for what it is. I enjoy it.
Yeah, my brother likes that one a lot too.
And he was a producer on Logan, just a producer. And of course, he was a producer on Deadpool, the Deadpool movies, producer. And of course, he was the writer and producer of Dark Phoenix. And I do agree with Soul Assassin here. Dark Phoenix should have been a series too much in the. Yes, the movie was barely 2 hours either, so it was supposed to be a two-parter movie with scrolls and everything. I remember seeing the first trailer of Dark Phoenix that was released in Russia at the time at a film festival. The first trailer,
Russia.
yeah, and the first trailer came out, and it's completely different. A lot different scenes, a lot different stuff happening. I saw, the concepts art, some of the things they were doing, but because of the buy-up with Disney and Fox, all those plans, of course, got removed, and they shortened down the movie, rewrote the movie, had to remove the scrolls and use another species that acts like the scrolls in the movie. That's one thing the Dark Phoenix movie did better. There are kind of scrolls, but not scrolls because they use another species from the comics. But in Dark Phoenix, they acted like scrolls, and in the MCU universe, they act like illegal aliens. Just illegal
Wow.
aliens. That's how they act in the MCU. But with Simon Kinberg, it is up and down.
That's what
You
she said.
can't, yeah,
Sorry.
but
Eh.
you can't. It can
No,
go
you're
both
not.
ways. It can
You're
go
not. I
both
would have done it
ways
too.
Oh, come
in
on.
the writing. In the writing and all that, it can go both ways. And it really depends on how much he cares about continuity that he's not the best on. If he doesn't work with people who knows more about the source material, and yeah, we don't really know how it's gonna be. But before we go away from the Star Wars topic, do you guys have any final thoughts? How anything you expect from this? What you think they're gonna do with Simon Kinberg? Of what you know about him, of the work that he's done? And we'll start with you, Kilted.
Is Disney still in charge?
Yes.
It'll suck. Sorry, I did.
That's a warning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, not only that, Kilted, like they sat back and said, they're going to be trying to fit it into the it's wonderful universe.
It's going to be studio oversight after studio oversight and notes and all this other stuff. No matter what he does, no matter what he writes, Disney and Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilms and everybody's going to get the grubby little hands on it. And it could start off as something good, something great, could actually have a cohesive idea, but all the powers that be are going to get their little fingers on it. You got to do this and you got to do that and check this box and check this box. And that's what we're going to end up getting. The same as before. Rinse and repeat. That's
Maybe it will be the acolyte. They're going to follow up with the acolyte with it, and then really make it part of the Skywalker saga.
Ooh.
Why would
You already got the lesbian
Why would
witches
you bring that up? Why would you do that?
because I'm evil.
He's
Because
evil,
I
yeah.
am all the Sith.
Am I evil?
Yeah, but no, I totally agree with a lot of stuff that you say there, Kilted. Because again, I know this guy can write something more coherent and to a certain point. But he's been in a lot of other projects where studio interference and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the word I was
So
looking for.
yeah, studio interference.
Like
Yeah.
even if there's some good Star Wars out there, the reality is that I see that yeah, right. I can't. I'm not gonna watch that, Kilted. Maybe I'm sure you'll give it a chance.
Watch which one?
Yep.
Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
Oh, Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
I mean,
I-
you're talking about
Yeah.
Star Quest conflicts series.
Goonies, it's Goonies in space.
Goonies in space, right? Well,
All the way down to
even
One-Eyed Willy
even
Robot.
if there's a
Right.
series out there, maybe some people like the Skeleton Crew, whatever. It's just after what happened with the Acolyte, I can't see them actually having a good path because things have become so illogical in Star Wars. And I know people will argue with us and cry on the mountain about it and whatever, but that's the reality. Even if Andor season 2 is good as the first one that a lot of people enjoyed. Other people didn't like it. Fine, whatever.
Yeah, Mr. Andor simp.
Yeah, I'm just saying that in terms of like Star Wars, that's like one of the more on the serious side. But whatever you think, it's like they're so far gone now with where Star Wars was and where Star Wars is now, there can be some good series out there, but then the rest of the stuff, it's like, but the lore is still so messed up now. So
Yeah.
I don't think you can come back from something like that, but I'd be shocked.
Yeah. It's like I say,
Well,
we have said this before. We know we want to be proven wrong, that they can
yeah,
actually
sure.
make a good story and stuff like
Yes.
that. And but even if they do create like a good story, the universe is still messed up. You know where it
Yeah.
all leads to. You know what have happened in the universe. So it's
Yes.
still again, it's just because you enjoy one thing doesn't mean it's gonna be a good universe or anything like that. And it's just like,
No.
yeah, you like Andor, for example, Cash. You liked
Yeah,
Andor
I
season one
it
a lot,
just
but
yeah,
just
I thought Andor was good, but it's also one of these things where Star Wars is now. If there's not a season 2 of Andor or they don't continue, I just don't care
Oh no, there's
because
going to be a season 2. It's
no, I
yeah,
know,
confirmed.
there
I
is the
know.
trailer
No,
says
I'm
that.
just
Yeah.
saying, but if there never was going to be, I wouldn't care because of where Star Wars is now. For me, it's like I don't understand a lot of this stuff. It's just like they literally are usually
Yeah,
throwing things at a
what
wall.
you have to do basically is
Yeah,
just when you watch Andor and the way you want, you just basically have to think, oh, this is just its
right.
own story, not connected
Exactly.
with anything else.
Exactly.
And
Just connected
Right.
with Rogue One and be done with it, right? Which
and
is
that's the
what
wrong
it
thing to
is.
do, and
Right.
that's the wrong because we're not supposed to have it like that. We want it
Right.
to be connected with the universe and want to
Yes,
be a
yes.
good universe.
Yeah.
But
Actually
when you have
follow
to,
actually follow through with the Rogue Squadron idea.
Right.
but
That could have been something, but nah, disagreements not going to
and
happen.
it's the same thing. I said straight out, I enjoyed a lot of Star Wars Bad Batch. I enjoyed a lot of
Yeah, you
it.
did. I know.
But I know where it was, going to, where it was, building up to. They added a little bit of that in the last season, and I did not care for that at all.
Uh-huh.
But I had to look at this as its own thing, its own universe.
Mhm.
I need and I don't like doing that because I want this to be part of the good Star Wars universe that I love, right?
Right.
But I had to just look at it as a side project, just a single storyline, not connected with Star Wars in general, with anything, and
Well,
it shouldn't be that way, It shouldn't be that way.
well, I know what you mean there, Jace, because just like I do, because I didn't think Soul was that bad of a movie,
Yeah, it's actually
but
I think pretty
but
good. Yeah.
yeah, not a bad film. I was dragged to see it, and I said, yeah, this isn't so bad. But the thing is even with Rogue One being as good as it was, I put that in the
Yes.
apocrypha. And how I look at this is just like anything when you're dealing with heroes and heroines and groups of heroes, you start having the mythological lores. They're not quite on track, but they sometimes make heroes out to be bigger than they were, or
Right.
villains. It doesn't matter. And this is what this is. These are like the dime store novels of Star Wars, and so, but they're not official because of that. It's all about, it's like someone going out there writing a book about Wild Bill Hickok, and only 10% of it's right. But that's not the point. I got dime store novels. Then people start looking at these dime store novels as gospel truth, and that's where you get these big lores, the
Right.
folklores. Well, that's how I view this. Kyle Katarn is the one that did get the Death Star plans. They
Yeah.
bypassed it, just like there were people in history that were bypassed because of these stories, and and that's just how it is. And of course, when it comes to Ray movies, it's like no, I can't even put that in the category. The
Yeah.
the rise
Oh,
of Palpatine.
and you guys know me, for example. I don't enjoy Disney Star Wars in general, and
Right.
it's not often I say something is decent, and of course, Soul Assassin. I see that. I always say if you enjoy Disney Star Wars, that's good on you. And not my thing. I prefer the Lucas era lore. And
Yes.
same
Right.
here. I will always be there myself. George
Yes.
Lucas, expanded universe, all that kind of stuff. But for me, when I watch, Bad Batch, it was just like it's the story itself. They didn't push a lot of the stupidity in it and stuff like that. Other than the last
Right.
season when they really pushed more stuff. But I looked at what I saw. I looked at it as a series for itself, even if it
Yeah.
was Star Wars or not. I just looked at it as a series that actually had some decent storytelling with the characters. They cared more about the characters in this one and other projects I've seen, and that
Yes.
was like, yeah, I enjoy the story. I do not consider it Star Wars at all or anything like that. I look at it as just a series. It's not like I'm gonna go back and be like, oh my god, I want to rewatch all this shit. No, it's like I watched it all. I thought it was decent for the most part with the characters. Some of the choices they did through it was, yeah, it is what it is. But overall, just a decent series that some people can enjoy. But I had to look at it as its own thing and not connected with anything else. But I've seen, the seasons, and I'm done with it. I don't need to go back and watch it. And I don't know if is that how you feel, Cash, with Andor in a way.
Well, it's just I don't really understand Disney Star Wars much anymore. Like, yes, I liked Andor. It had a more serious tone. It actually does tie into Rogue One. But after what's happened with Star Wars now, if they're really, I know it's going to happen, but really, if they're like, fuck it, we're just not going to do a season 2 of Andor, I just wouldn't care. I don't understand. Even Mandalorian, I like season 1 and 2, especially 1. I liked more than 2, but I did like 2, and I just can't push myself to watch season 3. I can't do it. I laugh that there's people out there who think we need a second season of Kenobi. I'm like, are they going to fight again on
Oh
the
no.
Dragon Ball Z planet again? I mean, it's so silly, man. It's so silly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still
No,
annoyed
I get
about
you.
Book of Boobaloo because it's like, man, they had a legitimate chance to have him as a crime boss. It's like, hey, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to feed you to my Rancor. But they just mess all this stuff up. It's so goofy. Like, one of the
Yeah.
things that drives me crazy about Star Wars, or what happened to it, Disney Star Wars especially, is how goofy it can be. It's like, I don't like this. Where's that more serious tone? And that's like Andor has a serious tone, is like somebody dies, they're not coming back. But it's just, when you showed me some of the Acolyte and so on, it's just like, is this for real? It's just, yeah, it's really something. I just don't find. I'll be interested to see if they're going to continue to lose money, or are they actually going to find more of a brain on some of this stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Disney's up and down lately, especially with Inside Out 2 being a massive hit. Of course, Deadpool and Wolverine being a massive hit. So we'll see where they go from there. I don't know. I'd like to see them have more hits, but if not, maybe they need to sell off their property, finally, some of the stuff that they bought before, to somebody else who cares more. But we'll see.
Yeah. No, exactly. And what's your prediction of season 2 then? Are you afraid of what they're gonna do with it? Because you like
I
first
just,
season.
as long as they keep going with the more serious tone, I think if I remember the last episode was that, like, they were building up to this big battle, so they're just going to continue with Cassian and where his story is going to go until probably up to
I mean, we kind of know
when
where
Rogue One. Yeah, right, exactly. We have a pretty good idea about it. So.
No, I got a very good idea. 100%. No, beyond the shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Kilted, on that. Yes.
Of course you do, because I'm right.
Yeah, for
You're
for
right
me,
on that. You're right on that, man. I can agree.
Yeah. But no, for me, I did not enjoy Rogue One as other people.
Yeah, that's
I know a
fine,
lot
man.
of people did. The things I say that I liked with Rogue One is Donnie Yen's character and his best friend.
Yeah, I liked him too.
Yeah,
I like those
because
characters.
again,
Do you
Donnie
like
Yen
the character or the actor?
character
Okay.
because
Mhm.
Donnie
I'm
Yen Donnie Yen had more to do with that character and the production team themselves.
Mhm.
He was the one with the ID, with the blindness. He was with the jokes. He got to do a lot more what he wanted to do with the character, the way he viewed the character. And that's what I liked his character because he put a lot of effort to create a character himself. And I normally enjoy characters that Donnie Yen plays because he puts a lot of soul and love into the characters he plays, even if they're not the greatest movies. I've seen a lot of Donnie Yen. Not all movies are great, but I still like his characters because he puts so much soul and passion into the characters that you believe he is the character. right? Um, and that's why I praised it a lot of his character, at least because of him. But the story overall with Rogue One, I did not care for at all. It was just, this stolen story
Yeah,
from Kyle Katarn. It was just Kyle Katarn's story with, gender swap and all this kind of stuff. That's why I
I get
did not
that.
enjoy it.
I understand other people who said that wasn't necessary, so I get all that, the arguments on that. I just, whenever
And
anybody
and
It's
says,
more like the
and
gender flip
Yeah,
because they
and
turn.
originally, the main character is supposed to have force abilities because that's the reason that was in the original script. That's why she had the crystal, the kyber crystal, with her that her mom had because her mom was a Jedi. That never got explained in the movie, but that was the original concept for her. So yeah, it would not made the movie any better if she had force abilities. It would just be more Kyle Katarn story.
Well, maybe they did have that. Remember, they basically were close to finishing that film, and they redid it just like they did with Solo. I
Yeah,
wasn't
with
like
the
I
Solo,
didn't.
we had a whole different movie with the
Yeah.
original creators of the movie who also did the Lego stuff, the Lego Batman and stuff like that, if I
Hmm.
don't remember wrong. But of course, they got canned, and
Yep.
all that kind of stuff when they were almost finished with the movie. And that's why when you watch the movie, it kind of feels like two movies in one.
Right. Hmm.
And I still wonder what their story was supposed to be because after what I have heard, at least, it was much more closer to the Han
Hmm.
Solo that we knew,
Yeah.
and they had a different way they wanted to tell it in a more proper way. But
Hmm.
Kathleen and them, they did not agree on that kind of thing.
Oh no.
Uh, and I'm gonna say this, the Solo movie isn't the most horrible movie I've ever seen in my life. It's not good,
No.
but it's not the most horrible thing. It destroyed so much of Han Solo's lore, with his name, his family, and other stuff, and pushing in certain agenda-driven things like a feminist robot.
Yeah.
Um, and
yeah, that,
again,
yeah,
you
we can
didn't
go
need
back.
Darth
And
Maul.
Lando's trapping. Yeah, we
And
didn't
you
need
didn't.
Darth Maul in it. Yeah.
No, we didn't need Maul at all. Um, and No, I've seen a different version of the movie that I like a little bit better. There are people who does fan edits out there, like I've done a lot of, and someone took the movie and fan edited it and made it. They removed the bad parts. They made Han Solo to be Han Solo and saying his full name. My name is, it's Han Solo. So it worked really well on the edit how he did it. Um, but either way, it is unfortunate that they got canned, just like Colin Trevorrow when he did the last movie. He wanted to respect George Lucas a lot more,
Right.
even though I've read the whole script that he did.
Hmm.
He also confirmed that was the script. You have also some fans out there actually making a comic out of it online, so you can read it
Oh,
as a
cool.
comic.
Yeah.
I don't agree with everything with some other Sith stuff he did. I didn't agree 100% with that, but a lot of other stuff I was like, okay, this is really different than what Disney has done. Even Hawks committed suicide in it.
Yeah.
He didn't want to lose. He was, he
Right.
was a really he is basically the man with the mustache, in
Yeah.
Germany at that
Well,
time. That was his
well, he was
character.
like more like he was the Goebbels or somebody like that because the big guy was, of course, needless to say, Pelps. But yeah, it was like a lot of Germans at that time. It's like they decided to unalive themselves
Yeah,
because of
and he
what was
did it
going
with
wrong.
Mace's lightsaber.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I just know he took a lightsaber and
Yeah, he's
which
in a
would have been a
room.
very, yeah,
He's in a
which
room
would,
with a lot of collectibles, lightsabers, and other
mhm.
things that might have been, Sith stuff from the old wars. He was a completely different character. Rey was her own character, and she was no Palpatine or Skywalker or anything. And she actually did training in his story when she became blind. She actually did training. Actually had to train and learn to
Mhm.
fight properly. And in the end of the story, you find out that Kylo Ren is the one who killed her parents. He was the
Okay,
big bad who killed the parents. and he kind of gets forgiven in the last moment, because the light always wins. The
Right.
light always wins. So he followed a lot more of the stuff with George Lucas, even though it wasn't perfect. He tried to do
No.
a better version of it, at least.
Well, you had to fix it into the Disney universe. So I mean, because of course Disney, they owned it.
But of
But
course, they did not agree with it.
right. You try to do with the sack of shit you're given with for the universe. Um, but even but Rogue One had that problem. They had to go through and do all these massive reshoots and stuff in that movie and change out directors because they weren't happy with how it was going. Well, how was it going? Was it too close to Star Wars? Is that the problem?
And
Um,
according to old stories, they were not supposed to die at all either.
no, no. Why should they?
Yep. So know a lot of things. Let's also see here. Soul Assassin said Jumper was okay. Funny seeing Mace as the bad guy. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool to see him as a bad guy. No, Jumper is actually one of my favorite movies. I'm always going to be sad that they never made a sequel to the movie. They made a game though. They made an old game though, a sequel game basically, a prequel sequel game. I don't remember 100% if it was a sequel or
So
prequel
you
game.
mean to tell me that you're trying to tell me that Anakin and Mace met up again, and this time the roles were reversed?
Yes, it was.
Ooh.
And hail to T Gap Steve.
Oh,
Sea
boy.
Hunter Kilter needs to learn from
No.
Baron. Baron
Yeah.
can. Oh God.
Hey,
Okay.
yeah.
Soul Assassin said, Star Wars needs to stay indie in order to be great. Even Han warned about speaking with committee. Yeah,
Mhm.
and Kilted is hopping off one-eyed Willy references so he can giggle
He's
like a
hoping.
squirrel girl.
I don't like the way you mispronounce words sometimes.
Hey, that's how it is. I'm
Hoping,
sorry.
hoping, not
Hoping.
hopping.
Hoping. Sorry.
No, he's
Um,
not. He shouldn't be.
um,
Uh-huh.
I knew it said hoping. I just read it wrong. Sorry. But Soul Assassin also said, I always say, yeah, we said that. Soul Assassin also said, I would say Matt Mikkelsen was wasted in Rogue One. Of course he was. He
Yes, he
was.
was. He was.
Yeah,
He's
he
too
could have
good
had
of
a
an
much bigger
actor
role.
for a side role. Yeah. He's a great damn actor.
Mhm.
And also Dead Man Walking. I said it right this time because normally I said Dead
Whoa,
Man
welcome back,
Walking.
man.
I'm a wrestling guy. I love Undertaker. So hey, Dead Man, so it's always in my head.
Yeah.
So Dead Man Walking, hail to you, brother. It is so goddamn good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope the streams and videos are doing well too, brother. And he also said hail and well said about Matt to Soul Assassin. Yeah. No, I agree with that. So any final thoughts? Because we talked a bit too much about for Star Wars.
Yeah, we did. We usually do.
Yeah. That especially when it's me and Baron who are, big Star Wars
Well,
guys.
and Cash, Cash was going, Andor is the greatest
Yeah,
ever.
Andor is
No,
the
it's
best
not
advanced
the
Andor's
video
gonna be
game
the
greatest. Not even.
future.
Compared
It's
to
even better than
No,
Star
no,
Wars.
it's a masterpiece.
no,
It,
no,
dude,
Baron.
he might have a crush on Andor. Have you ever thought about that?
I think so. I'm beginning to wonder.
I just
Maybe
find
he's a
it
sim.
funny.
Since
I
he's a
know.
simp,
Yeah, funny.
Yeah.
this-
Simping is such a major turnoff to women.
that's
And
that's always for Jace, but yeah, no, it's just nice that
Assassin
we
said,
actually
I,
had
I gotta head
okay.
out, gents. Catch y'all later. Hey, man, fucking great to see you in the chat, man. I've seen you so much
Yeah.
around. We talk, in other chats and stuff like that. So, it's always good to
Hey.
fucking see you, brother. Always good to see
And
you, man.
don't forget to like, man, on the way out there. Give Chase some love because we don't.
Yeah, I never get love.
Wow. Wow.
It's not like Kilted, talked about the channel on the show yesterday. I never get any.
I'm gonna do that more often. I need to do that more often.
Oh,
What? Show love to Jace?
Not you, definitely Jason.
Oh, not me. I said Jace. No, I don't want your love. I don't want your love.
So, any final thoughts? Yes.
What? Sorry.
Any final thoughts about the new Star Wars trilogy and stuff like that?
Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
I feel it's
Like
going to
I
be
said, we keep
delayed. I don't know. Just feel
well,
it's going to be
everything is.
delayed to hell. Yeah,
Everything
it
is.
is. I
mean,
agree.
they keep on. Remember the big
Yes.
roadmap, which crumbled
Right.
halfway
Right.
through,
Yeah.
and then they say we're going to do this and this, and then it falls, and
Mhm.
they give us the crap stuff, and it fails, and they whine, and then
That's
then
true.
they say
That's true.
we're going to have more. We have this. We're going to have that, and it never shows up, or it never happens. Or didn't one of the things stop mid-production? I can't remember. I mean, it's hard to follow anymore
Mhm. I
because
agree.
these guys.
That's right.
But the big thing is, it's not going to happen. I don't think they got the money to do it. They wasted so
No.
much money. The
Right.
investors and the stockholders, I think, are going to be putting their foot down now,
Yeah.
especially after the
I'm
Aqua.
gonna use this term. I believe it when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Amen, brother.
That's like which
Amen.
one's coming? Is it Daisy Ridley's movie, or is it this new Star Wars continuation
I don't
trilogy?
know,
Like
man.
Or is it James Mangold's
Yeah.
prequel
Right.
of everything?
I don't
Right.
get it.
Which is gonna come first? You know, which one?
Well, exactly.
Uh,
And if you got a continuation trilogy, wasn't that what Ray was supposed to be?
Let's just
Then
make
now
a
you got two
story.
it was.
Let's just make a Star Wars story about Peanut and that raccoon. There we go.
Fred.
Yeah,
Fred.
Fred. Yeah.
Don't forget his name.
All right, Fred.
Fred. Rest
Say
in
his
peace.
name. Say Fred.
So Kilted, any final words
is
you
a
want to say
serious
about it?
Final words. I found a techno version of Toccata on Fugue in D minor, and it's amazing. But yeah, as far as the Star Wars things goes, Disney's announcing one thing after another, and producing nothing. So yeah, like you said, I'll believe it when I see it. But yeah, true on the Toccata on Fugue techno version. It's just not something about it. Anyway, and in my head, it's Astro Zombies by the Misfits going on in my head right now, so I'm trying to avoid singing.
Okay. And you, Cash.
Wow.
It is the same thing that pretty much Kilted says. I mean, we'll believe it when we see it.
You like the
It's just-
techno
Hey,
version
I
too?
said that.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
Cash, I said that, and
good.
he said that afterwards. And you go,
Good.
yeah, what Kilton said.
But really,
America.
no.
Like
It's
before.
just.
Well,
It's
I'm the
always
one who
the
said
same.
I was the one who said, you know,
Look, Disney
I
is
believe it when I see
so-
it. Don't take
Right.
Yeah.
Disney is so wacky lately, especially lately. So
Oh,
they need to learn
they're
to be
desperate.
less wacky. Yes, exactly.
This is all a sign of desperation. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's
You
all
know,
it is.
even Pixar is like, yeah, we're finding more of a brain. Even I don't know what's going to happen with Marvel, but we'll see what happens with a lot of Disney stuff. I don't know. It's hard to say, but they keep talking about this Star Wars stuff, or we're going to make this Marvel thing. Then, like Baron said, when it fails, they get mad. It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, so we are gonna get into a new topic.
We have to.
Oh yes.
I want to do it
we
all
are.
night with this. All night.
Yeah, all night.
Star Wars all night.
All night.
All night. So let's get into the next topic. So, this is something, I want to talk about for a while now. So I know I'm a little bit late in the game, but I am a big Predator and Alien fan. So, of course, I want to talk about that two new Predator movies coming and possibly Alien versus Predator on its way. The head of Disney, 20th Century Studios, aka, Fox, has confirmed that two more Predator movies are getting released and have not done any good Predator movie stuff.
Well, there's
in a
already
while.
one. Isn't there one coming out this month?
I have
I don't
no
know.
Hold
clue.
on. No, there's like this.
The TV show, maybe? I know we're like a TV show. Badlands, that was called. That says here.
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
Why did I think that was this year? What the hell?
I don't know. But they have not done any proper Predator movies. Like Prey was not good. That was a fucking disrespect to the Predator lore and universe. And again, Disney, Fox, but it is Disney who owns it. You stole a whole fan film. 90% of that movie was just like the
Oh.
fan film. You stole even the poster you created was basically just like the fan film. I've seen that fan film long time ago, and then when I saw Prey got announced, yeah, the first thing I had, yeah, it's just a ripoff of that. So, and even how they made the Predator look like in the movie was trash. And that woman could not really beat up a Predator like that. Just gonna say so, you know. And a movie that came before that was also not good. That was more of a Suicide Squad comedy movie than anything else than Predator.
Hmm.
Um, Predator movies even said another Alien versus Predator is possible. And I will be an advocate that I liked the first Alien versus Predator. I heavily enjoyed that movie. It's not in the continuity, it's not canon to the old movies of Aliens and Predator. It was a standalone what if universe, basically. And I enjoyed the first one and the concept they did and how they connected it. I really fucking enjoyed it. And again, we had a strong, independent person of color in the main role at that time. Look at
What?
that. Never thought we had that. Um,
I'm
and of
shocked.
course, yeah, right. And we did get a sequel. It was not the best, but it was interesting. I still enjoyed it for what it was. Oh, it did end with a cliffhanger. I always wish we got the third movie that could finish up the trilogy of this universe, but I don't want that under Disney.
No.
Again, also, they own the rights for the comics of Predator and Aliens and all that kind of stuff. What did
Hmm.
Disney do with the comics when they re-released the comics in obuses of it? They removed a lot of goddamn stories of that people created. And one of the particular stories is about, the Yahtzees at the time. And they're getting hunted too by predators. I don't know if that's a bad thing, that they get hunted by predators.
I
But
wouldn't
it
think
also,
so.
and of course, the story also, makes you learn that they have to work together to, take the predators. And it's like a whole big story. But according to Disney and the Wokey Pokies, the people there, it was offensive. It was advocating that, the justice were good. They said it was kind of praising the yachts. No, it was not. It was not
Well,
at all.
well, the thing is there is a difference between the Germans and the National Socialists. Not all Germans were National Socialists, and if you're dealing with the Wehrmacht, most certainly those were just like the common soldier. Now, if it was the Double Lightning group, then yeah, they're the ones that were part of the party, and they were the nasty ones.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with showing an average soldier as not a bad person. I mean, just look at our average soldiers.
Yep.
It doesn't mean that all of our soldiers are good either.
And
So
what's
it's
also
always a
really,
fascinating. It's always fascinating to see what would happen if two enemies would have to need to work together. And what better enemies than that, right?
yep. And also, what is really sad about the whole situation with that, the writers who created the story,
Hmm.
they reviewed stories created by other people. And it's always heartbreaking to see that people that made great comics back in that time and put a
Right.
lot of soul and passion and everything in it, now we're just gonna remove it because it's offensive.
Yeah. 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 Like your
Now,
guys'
find-
faces.
now it's hard to find those stories, and if you're lucky to find them online, they are worth a lot of money that people barely have.
Right. Well, of course, it's part of the censoring.
Yep.
When you
So
talk about book burnings, this is what book burnings is about, folks.
yep, exactly. So,
Not
of course,
keeping sick books out of children's libraries. No, this is what we're talking about when it comes to
yep,
censorship.
exactly. So, Fox Studios has seen success with both franchises. Disney just announced Predator Badlands is taking Blade's release date because, again, the Blade movie ain't gonna happen anytime soon. That's on hold for who knows amount of time, if it ever will see the day of light.
Mhm.
And of course, Alien Romulus, and don't like that movie at all. I saw it. It's not really well written. It does feel. Is it the last Alien movie they did, where you have Ripley as a clone and all that weird shenanigans in that
Yeah.
movie?
Mm.
They kind of added concepts from that in this. You barely got to see any xenomorphs. You saw them a little, but they were killed off so easily and so fast. It was just waste of time. The only
Mhm.
thing I will give the movie and praising the movie for, practical effects.
Hmm.
Practical effects is what they did with the movie, and I will praise them for that. But the movie was not a good Alien movie, and I don't know how that's gonna work with the continuity because it was set between two older movies. I think the first one and the second one. So in the continuity is like set in the middle of that, and they already have started talking about a goddamn sequel to it. And it's gonna break a lot more continuity. But again, the original creator already broke his own continuity with Prometheus and the Alien movie that came after. Um, broke his own continuity because, like I said, um, Scott Ridley has Alzheimer's. He
Mm.
forgets stuff. He forgets his own stories. He wanted to see two
That's sad.
robots having incest kissing instead.
What?
Yeah, that happened in the Alien movie that came after Prometheus. You have the android played by Michael Fassbender. He plays two different versions of that android, and he kisses himself because he looks at himself as a god and he's everything. And he's the reason why we have xenomorphs is because of that android. They're not a normal species anymore. They were created by a goddamn android created by humans.
Mm.
And that android likes to kiss other androids that looks like himself.
Yay.
Yes.
Yay!
Welcome to that
Homosexual
universe.
incest.
So that is why I say the movies have not done really well in a couple of years. Prometheus had something they could have done. It had potential, but it broke the lore and they just didn't quite hit the nail on it.
Breaking the law. Breaking the law. Breaking the
Exactly.
law.
Originally meant for streaming release, has made over 350 million unreported on 80 million budget. Well, it's not that bad with the money, of course, but not many people liked the movie. Some people did, of course. Um, Steve Aspel, president of Fox, I'm just going to say Fox, it's easier to say, recently spoke with the THR and teased what is to come, which includes a Secret Predator movie was made and will be released. Yes, the Predator movie will be theoretical, and Aspel said in regards to the Predator Badlands that's getting released in 2025. You hear that, Kilted? Next year.
I don't know why the hell I thought that was this year. Good lord. I skipped ahead a year. I'm sorry.
He continued, I tell you a very simple after praise became a success. Success and success. It was really split on that one. Came back when Dan came back and said he didn't want to do Prey 2. Good. And we're like, what do you want to do? And he rattled a bunch of ideas that were really crazy but really cool. Um, we actually have done two of them. Two are coming out next year, as Bell explained. One I can't talk about yet, but the other one is the live action Predator film with Ellie Fanning that was just wrapped in New Zealand. So it is a movie, okay. That will be out theatrically sometime next year. Um, question, Aspel, about one getting the theatrical release. It's titled Badlands, and it's absolutely bonkers idea. It's a sci-fi thing. No fucking shit that Predator movies are in the sci-fi world with a bit of
I'm
horror in
shocked.
it.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm
Did you
shocked.
know that Kilted also that it had sci-fi in it? Did you know that?
I have no clue.
Well, do you know where the well, you're talking Predator. Sorry, I was thinking Alien, but go ahead.
Both
Never
of
mind.
them are. Both of them are in the sci-fi
Yeah, but
world.
oh yeah, they are. But you know, I was gonna say, do you know where basically inspired aliens? It was a species in the book by A. Van Vogt called Voyage of the Space Beagle, and they
Really?
had
Damn.
and they had a creature that was reproducing by basically being, saying something parasitic inside a human being, and
That
that
was
was
like the
one of the
inspiration. That's
inspirations.
kind of cool. Okay,
That's one of the inspirations. Yeah,
that's pretty cool
and
with that inspiration. Yeah. Didn't
yeah,
know that
and
actually.
yeah, if you find Voyage of the Space Beagle, yeah, give it a try. I mean, it's A. Van Vogt.
Yeah, no, I will
When it comes around
absolutely do that.
A. Van Vogt, when it comes to Van, it's either you like it or you hate it. There's nothing about his work that goes in between.
Okay. Write it down for me so I'll remember it so I can read it. I want to check it out.
Okay, sure, I can do that.
Yeah, do that. But it is not what everybody thinks it is, and I mean it's awesome. It's so nuts. But then we trust, he said. The second Predator movie that we have different plans for than actually directed both, he said. Probably he said about another Alien versus Predator happening. It wouldn't be in a way you think. That's the thing. Not in a way. It's just it will just be called Alien versus Predator or anything like the original movie. If we do this, they will be organically created out of these two franchises that we who continued with the characters that we fell in love with, and those characters will combine perhaps, but we haven't gotten to that point, and we're not just going to bang it out.
Crazy.
But yeah, what do you guys think of two new Predator movies and a possibility of Alien versus Predator, a new one? We'll start with you, Baron. What do you think and feel about that? Especially when they have not done well in so long.
Show me that you're running a film franchise into the ground without telling me. Simple.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
no. I mean,
exactly.
what else can you say? I mean, it's been part of the problem in all filmmaking so far. It's
Yep.
we don't have original ideas, so let's keep on just tearing in, and just use these other ones until they don't make sense no more. But that doesn't matter. These people we're making movies for is stupid. They won't notice because they're stupid, and we smirk because we run the companies and we write the scripts.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
No, I get where you're coming from. And what about you, Kilted?
They have just like with Star Wars and Marvel and everything, they have pretty much scripts written over and over again in the form of the Dark Horse comics when it comes to Alien versus Predator and a few with the Alien. They have opportunities to do something good, that fans will enjoy, but they don't know how. So I don't know. Next movie, I'll give it a shot. I'm a big fan of Alien, big fan of Predators. Although I did not watch the last Predator movie, I did watch the last Alien movie, and wasn't quite as disappointed as the previous ones, but we'll see where it goes.
Yep. And I think Cash is still BRB
Cash.
making a sandwich.
Oh, come on!
Sandwich.
He's
Must have
always
sandwiches.
it's his
What the fuck?
it's his teriyaki tofu wrapped around kale that he likes so much. It's that California thing. He put some green sprouts now, and he's discovered the joy of bean sprouts. So I mean, that
Yeah.
kid. Yeah, I'm hungry.
Well, at
Uh,
least for me, when it comes, like I've said a lot already, but the movies haven't done really well in a couple of years, and I would love to see, a proper Predator movie again. I love the Predators, and I think their lore is really unique, and how you have the bigger Predators, the bigger generation, who's the more evil Predators. You have the other Predators who are smaller, not in the big rank yet, and it's all about the hunting and all that kind of stuff. One thing with the Predators, and none of them are good, none of them are evil. They all go up, with hunting and classes, range, all this kind of stuff. That's what's all of this is about. Um, it's like a predator, it will help humans if they see that they are doing the same thing. If you earn the predator's respect, they will work with you to defeat the same enemy. And like they also added that, into the Alien versus Predator first one. And you will also get the mark of, you have killed, you have hunted, you will get the mark on your body, like the
Mhm.
Predators do. And there's so much lore they could explore with that I would have loved to see. Um and they explored a lot more of that in comics. We had one of the movies where it's called Predators. The Predator, Predators with when you have humans that have done some terrible things in real, on Earth, but they get captured, are getting taken to the Predator's world and getting hunted by the Predators. And that's also where you learn more about, the bigger predators and the smaller predator, because you see that he's captured and all that, because he's not in the big rank like the other ones. It's all about hunting, all about their culture. And
you my predator now.
it had one of the most coolest scene ever when you have a Yakuza member fighting a fucking predator with a katana. So that was fucking epic as fuck too. I love that one. Um, but it's just so much more you can explore. And again, you have so much also from the dark horse times of comics that you can use as an
Mm.
inspiration,
Yeah,
instead of stealing a fan film ID that's already out there and create a full movie out of it, when it's just like, oh, we're gonna take this fan film and just create a movie out of it, right? It's like,
right.
come on, dude, come on.
Mhm.
Do something. Dude, I would have loved to see that, the Second World War, right? Second World War, right?
Yeah,
With the Predators and all that.
that'd be awesome.
That would be a fun timepiece with the Predators and them. And it's like, we have not seen that before on TV. Like, come on, that would have been so cool. But I f- no, it's just lazy writing on these movies now, and it is really sad to see that too. But it is what
Yep.
it is. I will, give them a watch, like I did with the new Alien movie. Did not enjoy it. Reminded me too much of the last Alien movie. They tried to do certain words here and there that remind you of the old movies. Did not care for the characters. Uh,
So, so Jace, is this what you're trying to say?
Hated it.
exactly. And also, we do have. Let me just go to the chat here. We have, of course, FK. How do you pronounce that whole shit? I don't know how you guys
Uh,
pronounce.
we just call him Tim.
Oh, from Tim. So hail to Tim. Hail, brother. Man. Hope you're doing well. And or the Blade movie could still happen, but it would be 1994 Fantastic Four movie, never meant to be seen by people. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that could always happen.
But the thing is, a lot of people praise that
Middle
because it
Ages,
does. It,
that could have been fun too. That could have been fun
yeah.
too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
did the big predator tell the small predator you got a prudy mouth?
yeah.
Exactly. And hail to Cash. I think he's back.
Yep, I am.
What?
I know.
I know.
So,
God,
yeah, I have two
how's
more
that
articles.
tofu?
So we have three more articles. Two of them are
Oh
not
boy.
as bad, and Baron has the last topic for tonight.
Okay.
I'm not gonna forget you, Baron.
Go as long as you want because when we get to the 3 hour mark, we gotta cut. Gotta cut the show.
So we're gonna go into the next one. What any final thoughts with it?
I just
Yeah,
want a
Cash.
good movie. I just want a good movie. That's it.
We want
You ask
more
too
good
much.
movies.
We want good
We
movies.
want good
You ask,
movies. We want some more greatness to come to our
make
door.
movies great
Whatever.
again.
Yeah,
We used
make
to
more
make the
great
best
movies great
movies.
again.
Make movies great again. You know, that's a perfect merchandise, man.
We made the best movies. Made the best movies ever. Now we're being beat by the Chinese from
Yeah.
Well,
China. And
oh man, I don't know, but we just people need to wake up more and understand that. Put more time into writing. Put more time to characters. You know, I know I'm probably asking for too much, but
you are, you are.
Yep. So let's get into the other topic.
Dun dun dun. How long have you had
So,
those next topic things?
what do you say?
How long have you had those next topic things?
I've
A
had for
long
a long
time.
time. I
Quite a
just
while.
forgot
Okay.
since
Since I've,
2022. I just
I'm gonna say
forgot
it's
that I
like
had
since
it.
I've been here.
He forgot he
Okay.
had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
We
I
have so
never
many
really
videos.
saw it, and because I
Yeah,
think my next topic thing is beautiful, man. My next
I
topic
agree.
is
I like
right.
it a
Yeah.
lot.
So
Yes.
I was wondering if
uh,
you're stealing from me or not. It's like,
no,
oh,
no, I
Jared
made it
has
in
this thing,
2022.
maybe.
I made it in
Okay,
2022.
that's what
But I
that's
forgot
what
that I
it is
had it.
now.
But other than that, Hogwarts Legacy sequel officially in development.
Ooh, and that was on a huge sale not too long ago.
And I loved that game because that's a game that we have been talking about that we wanted for years. An
So
RPG Harry Potter game.
open
And I
world.
play
Yeah.
that game so many times. And I'm a proud Ravenclaw. Proud Ravenclaw.
He loves waving that crown around, or the not the crown, but the wand around.
I,
Do you play
as
the game like
I know
Animal?
we Ravenclaws are a little bit selfish, a little bit assholes, and know it all. So yeah, and we like to work hard. So yeah.
Well, the asshole and all that fits, but that's about it.
And Gryffindors sucks. Okay, they suck.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. Mm.
Even though
They
I have a lot of friends who are Gryffindors. That's fine. I have a lot of friends who are Gryffindors, but it still sucks.
I went into a
I
fifth
don't think-
school
I
that
don't
no one
agree with
really
that
knows
much.
about. They put me in a fifth house that no one really knows about. It's called janitorial.
Oh my gosh.
But
Ah.
a sequel to Warner Bros. Games, Hogwarts Legacy, is reportedly officially in development. Jennifer Mass and KJ Yusman at Variety report. Warner Bros. Game is at the work on a video game sequel to Hogwarts Legacy, which is a very big priority. It's really understandable if this is true and all
Yeah.
that with reports, because again, this game was a big seller. And we had a lot of the agenda-driven wokey pokies trying to cancel the game, trying to dox people for playing the game, harassing people for playing the game. But what happened? Their boycott and their harassment didn't work. It just made the game sell a lot
Nope.
more.
They did keep the game from being nominated for Game of the Year though at the Game Awards, which
Yep,
wasn't right. That was not right.
Yeah, but
And it
when it
should have
comes
been
to
there.
awards, who cares?
Yeah, in the long run, it really, I guess, doesn't matter. But it's just, it's.
And I have to ask, Kilted, have you played a game?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
I didn't get around to beating it though, but I have played it.
Why don't stream it one day? I think
Huh?
that would be a fantastic. Stream it one day. That would be a
did.
perfect stream.
It's been a while. I bought it when it first came out, and I was streaming it. Like
You
I
did?
said, yeah, but I
Finish it.
I am a squirrel, so I stopped playing it for a week and never went back.
You have to play it through and through.
I know.
And also, Kilted, watch the
Yep.
Batman.
I don't know what you're talking about. I feel personally attacked. Come on.
For Warner Bros. Discovery C-suit. Oh wait, give me a second. Kilted also has a topic. I'm not gonna forget him either.
Him over me.
But president of Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment, David Haddad, informed that the duo we have known for some time that fans are looking for more things in this world.
Yes.
Yes, hell yeah. We're spending a lot of time thinking about that. Our insight tells us that there are not huge destinations between a younger version of the fan and older version of a fan. Just deep Harry Potter fans. And we try to build authentic experiences to delight in them. And that's what you are going to do, to both sides of the fandom here. There's just Harry Potter fans, passionate fans. And for us passionate fans of the Harry Potter world, yes, I'm not big like a lot of other people, but I'm big enough when it comes to the source and a lot of other stuff. I really love the Harry Potter universe. And I don't know how many years we have been begging for a game like this. So it's so much more to explore in this universe and stuff to do in it, and just I want more. And they want to, they want to make all sides of the fandom here happy. And if the and again, Wokey Pokies, you have to fucking stop just because you don't like, the creator of Harry Potter because she was speaking the facts about how gender works. Well,
Mhm.
boo-hoo.
Yeah.
You were Harry Potter fans to begin with, but you still buy the books, even though you hate her. You still buy the books.
Oh, and the tattoos and
Yeah,
you know,
everything.
you know how many of those crazies have the Harry Potter tattoo, but then they're whining and crying, but yet you
Yep.
can see the ink is fresh.
Yep. But we don't need to go through the whole article, of course, because it's a long, long one, and it just repeats itself a lot on stuff with the game.
Oh,
But
they're bad at that. They're bad at that.
yeah, so it's a lot of repeating of the game and just what stuff that have been talked about a long time, how grateful the game was and other stuff like that and successful. But other than that, how do you guys feel? We'll start with Kilted first. How do you feel getting a Hogwarts Legacy sequel and actually doing justice for the fans of the Harry Potter world?
Regardless of how good the game is going to be, we're going to get the same nonsense that we got with the first one. It'll be interesting to see because the report is that it is supposed to somehow weave directly into the HBO series. So on one hand, that tells me that J.K. Rowling is going to be more involved with the game than she was with the first one. With they just had the license and everything, which means that all the people who hate J.K. Rowling are going to spurg out online, and it will be glorious again, and it will be another game of the year, and it will not get a single nomination. So it's going to be more of the same. It'll be a fun. If they do the same thing, like the first game, it was fun. It wasn't anything to write home about, but it was fun. It was open world. The castle was great because you
Yeah.
recognizing the locations and all this stuff. And I think do that again. Just do that again, and yeah, you'll sell another however many millions of copies you did before. But again, like I said, all the anti J.K. Rowling, she's such a whatever. She's a
Yeah.
is what she is, but she's
And
the right kind of feminist. And it's like, yeah, whatever. Entertain me. I don't care who you are.
yeah, exactly.
All the reactionaries are going to do the same thing, and
Also with
we're going to make
the
videos
whole
on it, and I'm going to get subscribers and make money.
and also with the whole thing, of course, with Hogwarts Legacy, sequel with the storylines that will play out in the Harry Potter HBO series. Again, I have a little faith on that series because there's a lot of stuff that they never told in the movies that I hope that they will do a little bit more in the series. And yes, if Hermione,
J.K.
if
Rowling's involved, I'm down.
yeah, and but I know Hermione might be a person of color, might be, but that is J.K. Rowling's doing. She did that. She claimed that she was basically a person of color in the end. Um, but either way, that's her decision of what she did, even if I agree with it or not. If you know my drift. As long as the series are good and she's involved with it, and just make a good show and make the show play out good. And if you're gonna connect it with stuff that happens in Hogwarts Legacy, well, that can be interesting in my view, if they do it correctly, at least.
Mm-hmm.
So what about you, Cash?
Well, I'm glad this game isn't going to be a games as a service because WB Games was starting to go more in the games as a service garbage again. So, I mean, just needs to continue on what they did with the first game, and that made a lot of people happy. So shouldn't be that hard.
Yep.
Shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be.
Oh, exactly. What about you, Baron?
Well, yeah, I'm actually, I would have been surprised if they didn't continue on because again, this movie made a lot of money. I mean,
The
game.
game?
Yeah, game. It's kind of hard sometimes to differentiate which ones are which. But these games made a lot of money. They had a lot of people, despite the crying and the whining and the threats and all that. A lot of sales, even with the snubbing and insults. Well, great. What is an award? Well, award is only good as the plastic is made on. Honestly, the big thing is how people are reacting to your game and how they're doing it. Yeah, it's nice to have an award to kind of look at and go, mine, precious. But the big
Yep.
reward is people loving your work and going about it. Um, J.K. Rowling being involved, great. As it should be. Uh,
Yep.
and needless to say is that yeah, we're going to be hearing a lot of the reads this year, aren't we?
Yep.
There's going to be a ton of reading going on because, well, they just can't handle it. They got the wrong president, and now they got the wrong writer.
Yeah, right?
I love this. I love this. It's
Yeah.
like they called us crybabies. Now listen and see the real tears, drop. So
No,
yeah,
no, I agree. I think it's a really good thing, and I think we all expected, of course, to have a sequel to the
yeah.
game.
Mhm.
Even though I always will say this, I would love if they added a mod to it where you can play online with friends and just doing stuff together. I think that would have been a
Well,
lot bigger
yeah.
sell with the game.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's the other thing I was going to say is don't make it the focus of the game, but have it, an option, and you can actually,
two
progress
options:
stuff
play
in
it
there.
alone, like solo story mode, and you
Yeah,
can have a multiplayer version where you don't do the story modes, but more like what Grand Theft Auto does and other games
right.
does, and you can play with friends, role play with friends. You can
Hmm.
be in houses together, different houses, work together, do
Right.
quests together, and stuff like that. I think that would have been
Exactly.
really great for the game. It's like
Oh,
I
yeah.
said. Hogwarts Legacy was one of my favorite games that came out that year, and I
Hmm.
praised it, and I really praised it. But it had some flaws here and there, of course. But that
Yeah.
happens, that happens sometimes.
Nothing's perfect.
Um, Nothing's perfect, but I always said that from the beginning. If you added the multiplayer mod for a lot of people out there, I think the game would have done a lot better than what it did. It already did really well, but also
Hmm.
it did a lot better because of the nonsense that happened, of course.
Hmm.
A lot of people who really didn't care about Harry Potter bought it, just
Mhm.
to piss
Right.
off the crazy people, but actually did enjoy the game when they played it.
Right. I mean,
um,
thank you all, you whiner and criers. You're the ones that helped made the game successful. If you would just
yeah,
kept your mouth
Yeah,
shut and not act
they
like a
made
bunch
the
of insane
game.
bunnies,
They made people definitely more interested in the game. Oh, what's
yeah.
this? What's all this controversy about? Oh,
yeah,
And it's like,
exactly.
oh, it's the blue-haired land whale
mm.
screeching. Remember Trigglypuff? Hey, we got new Trigglypuffs.
I don't know, Baron. I hate any of these groups that screech about
Oh, I do.
stupid things, man. It's so
I do.
annoying. Yeah.
Even us. I hate us.
Yeah, right.
But no, but if they added that, I would have loved that. It would be fun to play with you guys. Just playing
Yeah.
a role played version of Hogwarts Legacy. Just play with you guys on a role playing world, and no matter what houses we are in, and do
Just
quests together and
make
having
sure
fun.
you're connect.
Yeah.
You're
And just
making
make
me
sure your
get off me,
connectivity is
Detroit.
good. Hmm?
Nothing.
What you say?
Nothing. I'm a child. That's what. Move
Okay,
on.
okay.
Oh, I thought you called me a child. It's like, yeah, and.
No. I know. You combine all
but
three of y'all, and you ain't got nothing on me.
But no, I of course I did find more what Kilted was talking about also, so we can just add this upon it. Hogwarts Legacy 2 connection to the Harry Potter HBO series has massive impacts. So again, with this, when they do the sequel and also gonna connect it with the HBO series, it's gonna be really interesting because we do know, Hogwarts Legacy is, time period, it's back
Right.
in the past, and the TV show is gonna be, with Harry Potter and in
Mhm.
more modern age. So it is going to be really interesting to see what events in the game is going to be connected with the series and what they're taking from the books and the games and how they're going to do this. I think that is going to be really interesting. I really hope that they're doing it really well because I know that's not the easiest thing to do. I'm not the biggest fan of connecting games and comics with movies or TV shows, but
Depends on how they do it. So my first thought with this was that it was like the game would be a lead up into the TV show, which would of course be a lead up into the books. But another thought just popped in my head: is it possible that if they want to bank on all the Harry, Hermione, all the characters and everything, could they actually do this as you become a character in the wizarding world during the 7 years? Do you think they would go down that road? Like
don't really know with that.
Well,
I,
isn't this series supposed to be about things that they did not put in the movies that they're in the
The
yeah,
books?
it's gonna be it's
That-
gonna
right?
it's
Isn't
gonna
that
follow
the
it's gonna
point?
follow the books a
Uh,
lot more with
yeah.
stuff that we
Right.
have to see.
It's Harry Potter in TV show form, which is going to be better in concept, of course. But I'm just wondering, it's like, is the
Yeah.
game going to take place during the stories of the books, or is it going to lead up, like the end of the second game is going to lead into the beginning of the first
Well,
book?
you
You know what I
are
mean?
asking a good question because we don't know much
I
about the
wonder.
sequel.
Yeah.
We don't know much about the sequel, but either they're gonna still be, in the time period around those time periods from the first game around that, and we have events that happens there that will be mentioned or shown in the TV show. Or either if they do it, if that's what they want to do, we can say that they do the Hogwarts Legacy, and we say it's before the time of Harry Potter, just some years before Harry Potter or something, right? And it will lead in to the series with some of the events that happens in the game. That can be a possibility. So you are on something here, Kilt, that they can go two possible ways with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
That's what-
it would be better to see, now I don't know. If you make the game too much intertwined into the stories that are already there, then you suddenly just become you would be able to do all these different things throughout the school, throughout everything, but then you would essentially still only be a viewer. You wouldn't be able to interact, you wouldn't be able to interfere with any of the stories that are going on because they're pretty much set in stone. It's the books. So I think setting it right before and leading into Harry, Ron, and Hermione going into their first years, I don't think that would be I think that would be a decent idea.
Yeah, it could have been. It could have been something
I think so,
interesting. Not
yeah.
gonna lie about that. Could have been something interesting. And
because
hey, if you do Hogwarts Legacy and you say it's the period before, a little bit before, the TV series, you can add in the father, the mother, like side characters that you will meet and you can talk to in a way.
Now we got a third option.
But you can do stuff like that too because they have a
Yeah.
lot of options they can do. We don't
Well,
know
yeah,
what they're gonna do,
Don't-
but
they already
Don't
they
have
already know
95 this one.
they already know a game and a story that doesn't involve the Potters and the Grangers and all the stuff, that does not involve the characters from the book. They already know that can be successful. So they don't have to they don't have to jangle any keys. There's no cameos. They don't need any of the callbacks of the fan service and stuff. Just do a
No.
game in the world and they know it will succeed. So you just go from there. Continue the story or expand on the story of the first one and then the lead into the show. And
yeah. So there is
more
possibilities
wait and
here.
see and speculation.
But I am excited to see how this is gonna work out, and I hope they will be successful doing the connection
Yeah.
thing. At least I hope they will not try to do it like you have to play the game to understand certain stuff, because that would just be stupid. Of the stuff that is connected will be explained in the show. Hopefully they do that. But we have J.K. Rowling on it, so hopefully she will go that route with it. Of course, hopefully.
I hope.
So,
I mean,
but any
Yeah.
final thoughts about
tenacious.
this?
Keep her tenacious.
Sometimes, though, these things can be a bit too much, like oversaturation. But maybe this will work.
It's only a second game. You be quiet.
No, I mean I'm talking about the HBO series. That
Yeah,
of
the
course,
connect together, the connection.
I don't think they run the risk with oversaturation with the HBO series, because they're going to be able to tell more of the story from the books and actually, do it properly instead of giving
I
it
hope-
all
properly,
John
if they do it properly,
If they do it properly,
if they do it properly, they can be like, if you are interested in this show, we have more story for you. If you want to, you can choose yourself if you want. Like old Star Wars, you didn't need to read all the comics and books if you didn't need to. You could just watch the movies. But if you wanted more stories, here we have a whole catalog of different stories you can explore if you are interested in this. And I think that's a way they should. If this is the route they want to go, I think that's the perfect way to do it. We have a lot more stories if you are interested to explore it. Here you go. You have a lot more if you want more of this, or if you just want to watch the show. Just want to watch it, and that's what you care about. Well, then you do that, right?
Right.
Yes, that's a good way to do it. But any final thoughts before we go to some of the last stuff? And of course, Cashman is going to be back again when we're going to get to some
did
other
you run
articles.
off again?
Yeah, especially when it comes to one of the
Cheerio,
articles I think you would like.
Cheerio, but now I'll miss you. Sorry.
Cash. He's like
So
a gazelle.
Yeah,
around the house.
he's the one who makes the show a little bit longer now.
I think you should read my story now too.
So before Cash comes back, we are gonna go with Baron's story.
Okay, let's do her tour, huh? Let me get try to see if I can find it now. Where did I put it? How about you? Oh, there you are. I'm going to put a discard. Oh, geez. Well, I'm going to have a CJ. Do you want me to talk about the manga one for the Love Hina? Or you want me to talk about the Flash actress Sasha Callie, the heartbreak of losing Supergirl?
Your pick. It's your pick.
It's not. I didn't know. Yeah, it's kind of hard. You know what?
Who gets these?
Hey, let's go DC. Okay, let's go DC here. Boom. Yeah, I know I'm leaving Discord, you piece of troll bait.
Look at the professional Baron Norman tag.
Well, don't try this at home, people. Oh, I need to share this screen. I'm getting a little bit better at this, but let's see what we do there. See, you should have done that little earlier when I was bringing it up before I was saying stuff. That's
dark mode.
This is how you do it. Yeah, I mean, honest.
Heathen.
And I do want to say before, Frostfang, hail to you, brother. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing well, my friend.
I hope you're doing terrible. I'm sorry. No, I'm kidding.
No, he's not.
Yes, I am.
It's Celtic Cajun. He's not a nice guy. He's mean. He tries to make one person cry each stream.
No.
Okay. But yeah, let's get into the article.
You're not sorry.
I'm sorry. Yes, I am. I'm well.
You're a child. We know.
You're a child. Okay, so here we go. It's an article from Bounding in the Comics, Spy-lined, J.B. Augustine, and date-lined November 4th, 2024, just a few days ago.
I have a quick question for you, Baron.
Yeah.
How is it that your link to Bounding into Comics doesn't have that bar at the top that I can't get past?
I don't know. I just went into Bounding in the Comics.
Mm.
And I bookmark
It,
it.
yeah, it is what it is. But let's get into the article
Anyway,
and see
sorry. I just know that.
what she had to say.
Just to hurt your feelings. That's why.
Okay, sounds good.
The Flash actress Sasha Calle reveals heartbreak of losing Supergirl role and a multi-year deal, multi-million-year deal is more like it. Touts representation she brought to the part. Sasha Calle had
Well,
only
that happens
one
when they make a shit movie, right?
right, and
But she was good
a
in it, though.
Supergirl, but she didn't look like Supergirl. That's the thing. At least try to make her look like
It looks
Supergirl.
like one of the other Supergirls in other comics that is not the Supergirl in that she's in this movie.
She's
That's the
Bizarro
thing.
World's
She did a good job in a shit movie, so yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, hey, that shows her acting ability. But this is more on the shoulders of the studios opting not to make her look more like.
Yeah, this is more to the studios and when they created a shit movie. And again, we have the guy of the hour of the movie, Ersa Miller, and other stuff they did with the movie. And so yeah,
So Sasha Calle had only one outing as Supergirl in The Flash, which was supposed to usher in a new phase of the DCFU and lead to more films featuring her as Kara Zor-El. However, the movie bombed disastrously, and we all know, and every as we all know, sorry, that's my fault, and everything changed.
of course
Calle
it did.
is, yeah, of course, yeah. James Gunn got in there. Calle
Yeah,
is reflecting on how it all worked out and admitted the sudden redirection was a tough blow to recover from. And Kamala Harris said the same thing the other day. She also
yep.
confirmed that she lost a multi-picture deal that seemed guaranteed
And
in
I will
Hollywood.
say for her, just in general as an actor and stuff like that, it does suck for her, that
Yeah, yeah.
she had to pay for what happened with this movie and how it flopped and the
Mhm.
direction they did with this movie. And also when you have James Gunn out of the blue just, getting into the DCU and rebooting, quote unquote rebooting, but not rebooting. He just picks and chooses what he wants and don't want
Right.
from it. And she
So
didn't
let's
made the
have
plot.
Ezra. Yeah, but Ezra did.
Yeah,
We haven't
but
heard him being kicked out of there yet. Yeah.
and it's kind of weird because again, James Gunn said this is the best superhero movie made, etc. And he added this guy who created this movie on his Batman project and all this kind of stuff. So why didn't you want this to, be part of your universe then, since you praise it so much?
Yeah. Bring it in, man. Bring it in. He's not that, didn't like it that much. So I had a conversation about her future many times, Kelly told the Hollywood Reporter. When I signed on to that, it was for a multiple picture deal. That's a very common thing when you sign onto a franchise. So it was very heartbreaking for me, and it was very confusing. Ultimately, I know that I did my best. Yeah, you probably did, but you know what? This is
Yeah.
Hollywood. You had at least one outing. That's more than most people do, and never expect anything to be secured. Gina Carano in her television
Yeah. And I
film.
will say, I've seen the movie, of course, and I don't like it, of course, as a lot of people don't either, but for a lot of reasons. But she is not the worst part of the movie. She does not feel like the Supergirl that she's supposed to be. She looks like a completely different other character from, the DC universe, who is also Supergirl and all that kind of stuff. Because the looks and all that kind of stuff, but that's another thing. But she was not the worst part in the movie at all. She was decent. She was okay, at least. She did her best, at least.
Hmm. Okay, now we're going to get into the BS, folks. Identifying herself as queer. Oh my God, Who
And why is
the
that important
hell
for this? Did she bring
cares?
this up? Did she bring
Yeah.
this up when she talked about this? Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Identifying herself as queer, Callie is also proud of the representation she added to the DCFU, though it was explicit. It wasn't explicit to or relevant to the Flash plot. Then why are you bringing it up?
Yeah, there's no point of talking about it then. I don't care what you fucking identify as. If it has nothing to do with the goddamn movie, it has nothing to do with this. Come on.
You can identify yourself as a train with all the guys lined up ready to ride you. I look back at it as something super beautiful. It's been said that a queer Latina girl, shouldn't that be Latinx? Come on, you're letting your people down. Like me, couldn't be Supergirl, but I was, and no one can take that away from me. You know what? It sounds like there's a hell of a lot of narcissism going on here. Just saying. Just saying.
No, I agree with
Narcissism.
that. And nobody have said you cannot be a Supergirl. So I don't know where she really is she talking about that a lot of YouTubers kind of, said, certain things that she might not be the good fit for the role, as she doesn't look like the character herself. Is this, a race swap? Like, what are they doing? A lot of questions, like the stuff we do. We ask questions of why of these
Why?
kind of
Yeah.
choices. Doesn't mean we say
Well,
you cannot play her, that you're going to be bad, but we have
but
questions.
why? Why? This is going in a
Why?
different direction we
Why?
used to. I mean, is it about your homosexuality? Babe, please. You're in the gayest town out there besides San Francisco. Look at all the actors and actresses jumping out onto the window ledge with their megaphones going, "We are queer.
Yep.
I'm non binary. I
Yeah.
may
Yep.
have berries in a stem, but I identify as woman."
Yep.
You know, I mean, you're in the queer stuff. You're safe. You're safe. And for the Latina part, hey, you're not doing the lawn. You're doing pretty good. Okay.
Yep.
I don't. That was tasteless. I don't care. I've been watching too much Don Rickles lately. That is the most important thing for me. I did something that mattered. Did you? Did you really? And whether you saw yourself represented in me or not,
She's
a
preaching a
lot
little
of
bit too
people.
much here. She's trying.
Yeah.
She's reaching. She's reaching here.
Okay. You know what? Let's do it. Oh, she's preaching. Let's do it right here. Do I hear amen? Do I hear amen? That is the most important thing for me. I did something that mattered, and whether you saw yourself represented in me or not, a lot of people really connected with her and loved her. Do I hear amen? Callie,
No,
Somebody's
thank
how was
you.
that?
opening his drink.
How was that, by the way? Was that pretty
Oh,
good?
that was cool.
Did,
I like that.
okay. Did I wake up Cash? Okay. Just was wondering. Callie verified suspicions and
Just listen to me.
speculations.
Go ahead.
Oh, you are. Oh, you're. And he's eating again. I can hear it.
Nope,
Callie.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Uh-huh.
Really. Really now.
But yeah, let's get back to this.
Callie verified suspicions and speculations of THR of an alternate ending to The Flash, aside from the joke one with George Clooney we got.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
that
know.
ending when Ezra Miller's Flash meets George Clooney's Batman, and then he loses the teeth that he broke earlier in the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, that he used super glue on to keep it in there with super glue.
Callie admits that there's some frustration since she originally shot an ending of The Flash that was supposed to pave the way for future adventures as part of her multi-film contract. THR noted, for me, oh look at me. It was very hard, I have to say. I had bittersweet feelings as I was maneuvering everything. Callie confessed regarding being caught up in Ezra Miller's bad press. I was very excited, but there were a lot of unanswered questions for me. So it was bittersweet. Then ask them. She found solace in her friendship with Leslie Grace. Before you knew it, they were scissoring, and she had signed to play Batgirl and was likewise jilted by Warner. Did you see her run? I don't know what I would have done without Leslie, to be honest with you. I feel like she got it even worse, and yet she was just this divine light of warmth and love. Callie said, I could have gone further, but I decided to stop. And even though it came from a really confusing and painful situation, we got to have this beautiful friendship that is true and honest and sincere and kind. How many ands can you put in there, woman? We were there for each other. And I'm really happy that we had each other then, she added. Love story. Da, da,
And
da,
so we are so far
da.
into this, and Cash and Kilted, what do you guys feel about what she's talking about and her deal, and also adding, of course, the representation and queerness, Latina, and all that kind of stuff? We'll start with you, Kilted.
A whole bunch of unnecessary information that has nothing to do with your higher ability. It should not have anything to do with your higher ability. And the more the more you put that in the conversation, the more people are just going to be like, they're going to tune out. It's unfortunate what happened to her, because I thought she did a good job. Regardless of her look and everyone's opinion about her look, I think she did a decent job in a terrible movie. So that's unfortunate. It happens. You can be the best actor, actress in the world, but if the movie as a whole is a steaming pile of hot feces, then there's nothing much you can do. So wish her the best of luck. But you were in a crap movie with another crap actor, and nobody cares who you sleep with, unless, of course, it's on that other website.
Yep. And Cash, what about you?
It's the same shit, different day with these people. I'm a narcissist. Listen
I
to
know you are.
me. I'm the
You
best.
do.
I want. This is the way. Please tell me these things. It's gonna go. I don't think this is gonna stop anytime soon. They can't. They want to let you know, but I had this opportunity, and nobody can take this away from me, and all this stupid shit. Yeah, well, guess what? The Flash movie bombed. It did great. Oh, fantastic film. Yeah. Yeah. It's the same shit, and sometimes I think also we just give these people too much attention, but I guess we have to, because they just keep fucking saying this stupid shit all the time, and they're not going to stop. And
Yeah.
like I said, anytime soon, they probably will
No,
never
exactly.
stop. Unfortunately.
Yeah, and of course, I agree with you, Kilted, and Cash. I agree with you both of what you're saying. And yes, of course, I do feel bad that this happened, but it is what it is, and you just have to take it as it is. But mixing it up with all your narcissistic things with how look at me with representation and this and that, just shut up. That has nothing to do what happened with the movie or your contract or anything like that. It's about the movie, you know? It's not about your life, your personal life. It has nothing to do with your personal life, who you want to be in bed with, what you identify as. It's nothing to do with that at all, you know?
Well, again, it's still part of a narcissistic, stinking pile of crap here. I mean, when you have her going, I feel like she got it even worse, and yet she was. You feel like she got it worse? What do you mean you feel like it? No, she did get it worse. You at
Yep.
least hit the screen. She didn't.
She
And she was a
didn't,
star.
and
And you were a
yep,
co-star.
yep,
No, she got it worse than you. There's no, I think. It's like, I know she really got shafted in that film, but still she came up with this divine light. That's not what you should sit back and say. Not in, backhanded wise, trying to put yourself on their same level.
exactly. No, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that.
And there she is in that Batgirl outfit.
I still want to see the movie. I still want to see it.
Oh yeah, same here.
No
We'll
kidding.
do. We want to see.
For a lesbian, she's really looking at those hot dogs hard. I'm just saying.
Huh? We really want to
Okay.
see how bad or if this is actually somewhat decent.
Well, yeah, I know. It just come on,
Yeah,
man.
a lot of
I don't
questions.
know. Okay, so that much left to the story. If you want me to finish it out here, Kelly also had kind things to say about Ben Affleck, whom she co-stars in her upcoming movie R.I.P. Ben is so lovely. Yes, his chin's not as large as Cash Bunny's, but he's so sweet. He's
Ha!
so kind. Everyone has been loving and welcoming, and has treated me with so much respect. Except for
That's
that
good
guy
for
that came
you.
in wearing the red hat. Except for that guy that walked in with the red hat. We just did a table reading earlier this month, and it was so much fun," said Callie. Affleck was going to stay in the DCEU a little longer, as Flash would have set up Batman Multiverse with his Batman Lost in Time, presumably in the nightmare reality.
I would have
And
liked to
Michael
see that
Keaton,
in a reality with the Snyder universe. So, because
mhm,
that's what it's part of, and I would have loved to see that. And Ben Affleck, the best Batman ever, in my opinion. So,
and Michael Keaton serving up as a mentor figure for rookie heroes, which sounds like something right out of Batman Beyond. With these plans canceled, James Gunn pranced around free to produce his all new
new
superhero
Supergirl film.
starring Millie Alcock.
Yeah, she's from Game of
Millie,
Thrones, the House of
yeah,
Dragons.
yeah, but it's like, yeah, Alcock. Okay, that's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
calling you all chin.
Yeah, so that is
And
interesting
Matt
too.
Reeves.
So but at least Millie looks more like the Supergirl that we think about when we think about Supergirl.
It's just,
Mhm.
but James Gunn needs to back away from things like The Flash and Ezra Miller. And if he started doing that, then I might be like, okay, maybe I'll start believing in your vision of DC with
Yeah,
Saffron.
and just
Saffron?
reboot
Yeah,
everything.
Saffron. Yeah.
Just reboot everything and don't
This is
pick and choose
ridiculous.
everything and stop
Well,
lying, stop fighting people. And
Because really, what if the new Superman movie's like, oh, well, I was putting my boots on and, oh, is the world ending? It's okay. Let's see what's on TV. It's fine.
okay, so
yeah,
how do you do that? Again, the rabbit goes through the hole, up and under, and
yeah, but
well, and
no,
Ideal Nova has it right here on the comments, conversation comments, whatever you want to call it. She appeared in the last gasp of a dying film franchise. Franchise. She needs to accept it, and that's just what it is. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing about who you are or what you are or
Continue
who
to
you like
work
to sleep
hard as
with.
an actor, you'll get other
Right.
roles. But they
yeah,
can't. It's
just
all
work
about
and do your thing.
me. It's
Yeah,
Right.
all about
exactly.
me all the time.
You passed Celtic Cajun's litmus test. He said you were a shining beacon in this horrible turd. So with that, you can put that on your resume and say, "See what Celtic Cajun said? I'm a good actress."
And no, we're
Now, where
getting,
the white women at?
yeah, but no, we are getting the new Supergirl movie. We are, of course, Matt Reeves. I think Matt Reeves is a good direction of what he's doing with the Penguin,
Yes, he's
and
involved in that, but you got the creators who, of course, worked on Agents of Shield, which explains a lot. But yes,
mm,
that vision right there with the Penguin, they should continue that. So we'll see what happens.
yep, yeah. No, so any final thoughts about her and her statement? For me, at least, yes, it is sad, but you have to accept it. I agree with that. You have to accept it. This happened. Uh, Life goes on. You're not the only one, even though it's sad. It happens to actors and actresses, of
Yeah.
course. But you're not the only one who experiences this in franchises or anything.
Right.
This happens a lot. That's an unfortunate thing that happens. So yes, I feel bad for a lot of people that this happens to under bad leadership and all that kind of stuff. But never put your own personal agenda and life into this and that and all this bullshit and make it all about you, because it's not all about you with this. You're not the only one in that movie that
That's right.
lost contracts
That's
and
right.
deals. a lot of other people did too with certain things. So
It's not just
Yeah.
always one person. When something closes down, there's more people who are going to lose their jobs, unfortunately.
Right. Well, I mean,
yep,
take a look. Basically, the entire superhero cast was dumped.
Yes.
yep.
Ben Affleck, Henry
Henry
Cavill,
Cavill,
yeah, and
Yes.
Gal Gadot,
Gal Gadot.
and
Yeah, or Godot.
Gal
Right.
Gadot,
Gadot,
Gadot.
yeah.
I think it's
yeah.
Godot.
But
Yeah.
I mean, all these people got their, that got their papers and said, okay,
Yes.
don't go away mad. Just don't go away mad. Just go away.
That's why
But you
people
know
were
what?
like, "What are you doing, James Gunn? Like, why are you getting rid of these people?" It's just, "Oh, we're gonna reset. We're gonna
They're not
okay,
funny
but
enough, and they don't look like a
exactly
raccoon enough. I need a raccoon. Where's Fred the raccoon? He was
right,
executed earlier, sir. Damn
Yep.
it.
yeah."
But yeah. Final thoughts.
None.
Mm.
All right.
Yeah, I pretty much said what
Mhm.
about it.
You getting tired, Kilted?
Why? Because I yawned.
I
Yeah.
just asked, man.
It's not
'Cause we-
even. It's barely after 9 o'clock.
You
No,
were
I'm not doing
you,
that.
you were
Yeah,
sounding
'cause-
like Ash there for a moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But
That's
no.
Baron, man. Baron's taking over the.
But no. Well, this happens with bad leadership, bad movie, and everything else.
Oh, don't talk about Aaron like that.
but
My life.
but
And,
no.
and, and more importantly, going out and doing the things that does hurt this. Again, the identity politics. Look at me,
Yep.
I'm a lesbian, and I'm a
What?
Adding in the
Latina.
They
identity politics
cannot-
for no reason.
They refuse to come out and say, "Look, I lost a role. It sucks, but I'm going to keep working harder, and hopefully, I'll get more chances." They can't come out and say those things. They just,
Yeah.
well, I feel so good that this happened to me. It's like, fine, you want to say this stuff, but it's just so stupid. I would love them to say, "Look, I'm going to do better next time." Even the lady who played Riva, it's like, instead of talking about racism, whatever, just say, "Okay, I'm going to work harder. I'm going to be a better actor." I think a lot of people would appreciate that. It says, "Oh, good, yeah."
Just because you're a certain skin color doesn't mean that you're automatically better at all this stuff.
That's right. Exactly.
Exactly.
Remember, we kind of talked about that. That's
Yes.
just about as racist as saying that you can't
Yes,
do it, or sexist
it
for that
is.
matter.
Right.
So don't, so stop it.
Yeah, it's just
Exactly.
stupid. I mean, you've even had people of color come out and say, "Oh, well, this woman on Heroes, she was very uncomfortable doing these sex scenes with me." It's like, really? Are you sure
All-
she was?
all
Like,
girls
they'd be
are.
like, "Well, I was there," and stuff. It's like, uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
exactly.
all girls have issues or whatever with having sex scenes with me. Yeah, usually they have to take like.
Now they need an intimacy coach. I mean, this stuff
Yeah.
is just stupid.
Well, who was it that needed whatever coach with an animal?
Intimacy.
Film for the orangutan with an orangutan. It's like, oh, what you want to
With
know
an
how to
orange
do the
Johnson?
intimacy right to put your dick into an orange ape?
Yeah, it's like when Jeff Bezos said, "You know what? I think this Rings of Power show needs to be more like Game of Thrones. Like these things just keep swirling around, and you're just like,
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna tell Jeff Bezos no.
right?
Yeah.
Of course not."
No, of course. But
Well, I
we
mean,
know.
how much was Beazle involved in that, and how many of it was the fact that we already knew these fans were fucking imbeciles?
Yeah, no, exactly. And yeah, but I think we're done with that topic, and we are gonna close up not for that long. We have one little last article that Kilted will read, and
Alrighty.
it's not a horrible topic.
I don't think it's a horrible topic.
Did Cash
So-
reject?
Now, unfortunately, my browser is not doing the same one as Aaron's. Aaron, hi, your name's Aaron now.
Who is Aaron?
As Baron, but as fans of different franchises, video game franchises, we always get a little twinge of fear and horror whenever we get announcements about our favorite game getting a Hollywood adaptation. But the title of this one, apparently information coming from Bounding into Comics, I've never played Outlast. I'm gonna will probably likely change that, but the fact
They're fun
that
games.
the adaptation written and directed by the original creator should give some people a little bit of hope here.
I
This little
really hope
article,
so too, because it is a
yeah,
really fascinating, cool horror world and survival
aren't they?
game.
Isn't there another one coming down the pipe?
Yes, I think it is. If I don't remember wrong, I
Either a
think so.
remaster or a new one. So,
But no,
ooh, Lionsgate.
I will just say,
Ooh,
Line Gates, that's pretty good, and I'm
mhm,
really happy that the original creator is part of this
yes.
and writing and all that, because that gives it up a little bit more faith, and he will treat it as his baby because it is his baby. It's his story,
Gotta
So
have faith.
So, according to the
Gotta have
article, in
faith.
collaboration with Red Barrel's, Lionsgate has acquired rights to the live-action Outlast adaptation. Over a decade ago, Outlast changed the entire horror genre in the gaming industry. Now, the franchise is set to bring its story from darkness into the light, or dive deeper into the shadows. With a rock-solid first-look deal with Lionsgate, which has some hope there, producer Roy Lee is the executive. Why are we repeating this? Sorry.
Yeah, well,
Roy Lee is the executive producer. For those unaware, Roy Lee is the name behind such horror staples like The Ring, It,
Ring.
and the original Poltergeist. Well, no, they never did a remake of the Poltergeist, huh? I don't think they did, among
Not as
many
I
other
remember.
titles. With Lee at the helm of this project, Outlast's terrifying atmosphere on the big screen may match the events of the game. Alongside him is the Outlast original game writer, J.T. Petty, who will pen the film's screenplay. That statement right there is enough to give. I think that should be
Yep.
enough to give fans hope. Lionsgate's not too
I
shabby
will
when it comes
just
to horror and
exactly.
like low budget horror too. I don't think like
Yeah, no, I
um,
agree with you, and for
mhm.
me, I that gives me hope for this because it's been years since I played those kind of games, and I know a lot of people think they're fucking scary. I think they're just hilariously fun.
that's
But
just they're scary.
that really gives me a lot more hope that he's part of it. If he wasn't part of it, I would have been a little bit more. It would have been a little bit more. Will this be this? What they're gonna do? But he's already written and done the games for such a long time. So just with that title, it's like they say here too. This is excellent news for those who are who wants this franchise.
It says Petty is not only the director, but a screwed that up. Jesus Christ. Petty is not only the writer, but the director as well. Nevertheless, it is yet to be confirmed whether he will direct this. Oh, he is a director.
I
Okay.
direct.
It is yet to be confirmed whether he will direct this venture, though his experience as both writer and director on such horror films as The Burrowers and Hellbenders. Is that a typo?
I
Might
don't
be.
know.
Could make for him a suitable directorial chair, something. And this is a tweet from Red Barrels themselves. We're thrilled to announce a chilling collaboration. I'm starting to sound like Baron with Lionsgate that will take you deeper into the shadows. Lionsgate and Red Barrels are joining forces to bring the terrifying world of Outlast to the big screen. Do we want to read the synopsis of the game or talk about the possibility of this being a massive horror success, or we'll land like a wet fart in a car?
I want to talk
Um,
about that part where you talk about me reading.
but
The
no.
first thing that came in my head, I'm gonna pick on somebody.
Yeah, but no. Since the original writer is part of this and gonna write this, I think he is gonna follow, the good lore what he created from before and all that. Maybe do some tweaks here and there because it's a movie, so he can do a lot more than what he can do with the games, of course.
Oh,
And also,
really?
try
Can you do
and
more with movies instead of video? I think you can do more with video games because you're not
yeah, but I'm
confined
like thinking
to
about
live
new
action.
fans, new audience, new fans, new audience of this,
Mhm.
doing some tweaks here and there that you didn't do on the games because the people that likes the games already know what happens in the games. You need to do some tweaks here and there to make people interested and also in the movie. So you need to do some, changes here and there. And it all depends on how you want to do it, of course. But I also agree with this that they also say here that Outlast as a film would probably benefit best as a found footage film. And
Oh yeah.
I agree with that because that's basically how the game is and feels and how the gameplay is. And I've seen movies that are really similar to Outlast to certain points, and that is Grave Encounters. The Grave Encounters movies, the first movie came out before the first game of Outlasts, but they did a really similar thing with the found footage and really the same type of storytelling and really psychological telling and really makes you think and trying to make it scary and all these kind of aspects that basically Outlast has, right?
Mhm.
So yes, I think this movie will work best as a found footage, as intended, and get feeling of the game like that. And I think that would have been a great idea. That's all I'm gonna say. I think that would have been a great idea.
Let's see. So, like you said, we'll skip the. You want to? Let's read the synopsis. The last story revolves around investigative journalist Miles Upshur, who receives a tip about the strange experiments at the remote Mount Massive Asylum, a private mental facility controlled by the sinister Murkoff Corporation. Murkoff.
And let me also
Uh,
add into this,
mhm. Go ahead.
with the Grave Encounters, that's also about a mental facility. But
Mhm.
the people that was there before in Grave Encounters, they made a deal with Satan and the devil and a lot of other stuff. So it's really crazy, it's really similar to different aspects, but they're really similar to Outlast. So if you want to see two movies that really resembles what Outlast is, I think you can get an idea of what this movie can be if it will be found footage.
The iconic bone scene. So, with all the background of the game, I'm sure we're recommending the game. I was actually
I
just looking to see if I have it on Steam. I'm pretty sure I have it on one of the other consoles for free. Either for free or I picked it up on sale. So that said, Outlast as a film will probably be best benefit found footage, like you said, with Miles' encounters captured through his camera. This would match the original tense atmosphere of the game, mimicking the Blair Witch effect. Just try not doing with too much shaky cam. People were throwing up. Showing Miles' face in minimal fashion. It is important not to neglect the brutal psychological roots of the game, with all the monsters lurking in the shadows, and the moments with Richard Traeger, who, as a sadistic and mass murdering psychopath, is a perfect antagonist. Not to mention the iconic bone shears scene in Outlast.
Yeah,
Pourquoi?
I'm not gonna say anything,
Oh my
it's better that you
lord!
watch it.
It's
It's an
better that I watch.
experience. It's
Oh
an
lord!
experience, my friend.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go play it.
It's an experience.
Not too much. It remains to be seen if Outlast Story will be a retelling or a new story in a more than terrifying Outlast universe with deep lore around Mount Massive Asylum and Murkoff Corporation's dark experiments. If done right,
Yep.
Outlast as a film could outperform the sense of dread the game instills in players. A bottom line, this is another announcement. Hey, we're going to take your beloved franchise and turn it video game franchise and turn it into a
Mm,
movie. Are you excited? Many years
mm.
ago, we may have been, but right now we're a little hesitant. But
I
the
you know,
studio
I
involved and the creator
I
involved,
am a
they're
little
saying they
excited
can make
with
it happen.
it.
Mhm.
I am. I have a lot of hope for this. If it's gonna be an original story, I will not be mad about that. If they do like an original story, and again, the original writer is on it, making an original story, that could also be fun. No matter what way they want to go, I hope they just keep found footage styled and
Mhm.
keep it to the source and lore with the original writer. I have a
I
lot
can
of
see it.
faith in it. I have
Yeah,
some faith in it.
I could see it them doing a mix of both. Because if they just do an actual retelling of the game, yes, fans are gonna like it, but it's like we've already seen this kind of thing. Maybe mix in new stuff, expanding the story, or different parts of the asylum, something like that. Just a little mix here and there with callbacks to the game. Little Easter eggs and fan service. You're definitely going to want to have fan service and something like this for sure to get that way, to get the fans of the game into the show, into the movie, and while at the same time giving them something new. Nice little
Yeah.
balance there, I think is going to be important.
Yeah, I think you need to balance it out, with this. For the new audience that have never played this, and the casual people out there, and also for the people who are fans of this universe and the games. You need to get the balance of it both to entertain both sides. So yeah, Cash, Baron, anything you want to say? We'll start with you, Cash. Do you have anything to say
Shit.
about it?
No. It could be cool.
It could be cool. Okay.
It could be cool. No, but
You wanna talk about how I
I've
was
seen
talking earlier?
people play these games. I still have to play them myself. I did pick up the original. I've heard people will say for the first number of hours it's like, oh, I'm scared, and then that wears off. But this could be a good idea. We'll see how it goes. I'm glad the original creator's working on this. I mean, it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yep. What about you, Baron?
I don't know. I was kind of hurt about that comment about me and my abilities of reading and talk and all that. So
I just
I-
stumbled, I just stumbled
just-
over a good 10% of that article, and you're gonna okay.
yeah, I just want to say I'm really.
He says he doesn't have feelings,
I'm-
but then he gets very sad.
I'm,
Yes.
You're terrible at acting, so there's that.
That's great.
Yeah, but what do you think this can be something, Baron? Do you think this can be good? I don't know if you have any experience with this world.
I don't have experience in this world at all, but the fact that people who are involved with it are coming back for it. Let's just hope. Let's just hope that they don't get carried away.
Yep.
Because sometimes
Well-
you get that. You think, oh, so and so who's doing this did an original one. They're coming back. They're gonna. Then you find out they just go ape shit.
Yeah, no, that's completely true. Also, always have to be wary. Even though, yes, I am excited for a person who loves horror and think Outlast is a cool fucking game franchise. But of course, always need to be a little wary of. It is the modern Hollywood, of course. We always need to be a little careful with certain things that they will do, of course. But hopefully for the best, they will do a proper job with this, and I will absolutely give it a chance when it's out. And give my final views on it when it's out. Yeah. But other than that, we're gonna wrap up.
Cash
And
is going to read.
No, I already
I call
read.
it. I
What are you
call
talking about?
shenanigans.
I already read, Baron. What are you talking about? Yeah, you go back to your hole. That's right. You go back to your hole.
exactly. But other than that, we're gonna go around the table and all the stuff that we normally do. So we will start with Mr. Kilted himself, who was on time today. Actually,
I
of all
was on
things.
time today. Don't get used to it. Well,
We won't.
depends on how the afternoon goes. I am the Kilted Cajun. My channel, you can find me on YouTube, on Twitter, Cajun Kilted, I think. Whatever. Talking about all the nonsense and entertainment and video games and TV shows and movies, mostly TV shows and movies on Wednesdays on my live stream. Tomorrow night, only thing I got coming up other than your every other day video, if I try hard enough, tomorrow night I will be streaming more nonsense with Dragon Age: The Veil Guard. Other than that, one of these days I'll be able to maintain a schedule of video releases. One of these days.
Yep.
And fun as always. Always
Yeah.
fun.
Always have fun.
And I'm happy you made it early today. It was a lot of fun. I'm really happy for it.
I was shocked.
And of course, we have the Mister who never finished his stuff.
Shut up.
Mr.
Yeah, you're one
Cash
to
Money.
talk, considering you're a perfectionist too. Yes. Nice try though, Jace.
Yeah,
4
good
weeks
commercial. Yeah, it's only Barry. Cash, you dropped out.
No, but anyways, yeah, so tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'll be back with some more State of Decay 2, and hopefully I won't drop frames. I think I fixed that problem now, so hopefully that's fixed. And
Hopefully
no.
we'll all connect too.
yeah, and hopefully we'll all connect. So that'll be good, and that'll be on. Those streams are always on Fridays at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, unless something changes. And then I haven't decided either the weekends or I'm going to start working on it tonight, but I'm probably going to do a video soon of Doom Eternal. I haven't decided if I'm going to do it this weekend yet or start it tonight because just haven't decided. But it's yeah, so that's what's coming up right now. Yep, I know, right? Doom Eternal. So
4
yeah,
years of Doom now. Ah!
so many. I know, right?
Doom the Dark Ages.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, and there is a new Doom game coming out, so that's cool. But
Yes.
it looks pretty cool. Yeah, so that's what's just coming up right now on the Phantom Hooligans, and I'll let you. You know what? No, I guess I'll say it too. So of course, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. Central. Baron and I, because we're a bunch of snooty people at times, we are doing on yeah, right, Cash Money Madness. We're doing Cranky Old Fans, so we'll have a new episode of that, and hopefully that will go well, and we won't run into any problems. But that's always on Tuesdays. So that's the Rumble channel, and then of course Phantom Hooligans. And whenever there is any kind of live stream, if it's just a video, it'll probably just be on Phantom Hooligans, unless I want to put it on the Rumble channel too. And yeah, so but the live streams will always be now on Twitch, the Cash Money 007 channel, and then also Phantom Hooligans. So,
Yep. And also Nerd.
nerd,
You're
DJ
late,
Ronnie
mister.
G.
Good to see you, buddy. But anything more you want to say, Cash?
No, that's all for now.
He was doing his food the
And
other day.
and of course, Mr. Baron Orman Tag.
What, me? Okay, well, you got the important stuff done down there. I might as well go with the others. Of course, I'm not going to promote you, Jace. That's your job. Usually I do that when I'm not on this show. So I'll just move on to my other boss. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hello? What was that?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
You hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
hear you.
What was that?
What was what?
What were you doing, man? What are you doing, man? So, again, I'm not promoting you because of just what you did. You can do your own work. I will promote my other boss, and that is at Pacific 414. That's Mike himself at Pacific 414. The Pop Talk. We do it every Sunday and Wednesday. Wednesday at 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, 6 o'clock Eastern. And on Sunday at noon Central Time and 1 o'clock Eastern. How am I doing that? Doing pretty good. So, yes, please join us over there at Pacific 414 for Pop Talk. And let's see, you took care of the one. And oh, yeah, I got to get my button here. Please join my channel and be able to watch my continuing playthrough of Contraband Police. That's right, Contraband Police. I'm here to make sure that I keep evil Western ideas and thoughts from coming over into our great socialist republic. And of course, your vile gut water, bourbon and whiskey, including our dear pure vodka. So, yeah, please join us for that. You never know what's going to happen. The last episode had a little shootout. Got to it, though. So, thinking of nothing other than that, back to you, Chase.
Yeah, and no, it's been a good show. We went for the Zack Schneider hour almost. Uh, but other than that, it was a great show. Went a bit longer than planned, but I'm gonna blame Cash for suddenly being away, making himself this sandwich stuff.
No, I had
Um,
to deal with other things, but sure.
It was teriyaki, his teriyaki covered
No,
tofu
no,
wrapped in
none
Yeah,
of-
kale.
none of
exactly.
that. But it was around
Uh,
dinner time, and I had to deal with some other stuff. But continue, Jace. Back to you, Jace.
With bean sprouts.
But other
No.
than that, of course, you can always find me here in 540 Studio with all of the good co-hosts here and the people who are part of 540. Love those guys to death. Amazing people. And Prismatics will, of course, join more when he gets time, and that's why we also on Mondays gonna try to do beyond earlier beyond show every other Monday and talk about some stuff. But tomorrow for me, if Comic Relief Crusader is doing his stream, I'm of course gonna be there for sure and talk about some funny news and some articles that what's going on. Still the same stuff here. What's going on in the pop culture world and other stuff like that.
What's going on?
And don't know if it's going to be a Skullcast this Saturday, but Skullcast will be back. Tom is now on a trip, on an event and stuff like that. So, Tom, I hope you're having a great fucking time on the event that you're on. And next week, the same old stuff that we always do. I'm working on some other stuff. I'm working on a lot more merchandises that will be released next year. Because again, I had to create a lot of new stuff all over again. I lost a lot of stuff when I switched companies, but a lot of stuff will come back and a lot of new stuff will come back. And closing up to the work print version of my movie, the fan edit movie of the Acolyte that I'm doing into a KOTOR movie that people are waiting for. I've got a lot of questions about it when I'm done. I will be done when I'm done. But I will be done at least with the work print edit, as I call it, the first edit that I will show to people before I will finish it 110%, because there's still a lot of other stuff I want to do with it that I can't do before next year. So people will see the first version of it before I finish it at some point next year. Just working on a bunch of the stuff. I know Comic Relief Crusader had to out me heavily on this on his show, and that's yes, I am writing a comic book story. I am writing a comic book story that I am excited to get done with. When I'm done with all the writing and getting all my characters the way I want them to be. Really excited for it. So, and other than that, as I always say before we wrap up a show, just remember that life's too short. Make the most of it. And we in 540 Studio, we love you and we appreciate you. And none of us would have been here today if it wasn't for all of you peeps out there. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. And with that, I also want to say I'm not a Jenna Ortega simp. But with that, remember,
shut the fuck up. You're a fucking cunt. Shut the fuck up. You're a stupid cunt. Suck my dick.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body